if I can do a countdown. Now we're live.
All right.
Everywhere. So
we give it about 5 minutes before we started up. Give people to come on a chance to come on in.
And you can say the N-word now because
yeah. Well, I'm not even doing TikTok, so you can say
TikTok, it. So get all your N-words off now if you need to.
I'm not going to TikTok. It's fine. You know, with TikTok, it only has that horizontal perspective anyway, so it's not the best angle for multiple people.
I wonder if I should do something on my socials.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a good song too.
To do like a go online or something.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
Yes.
Really?
She has her own podcast. So.
Not really. I'm new to this.
Not even close.
I know you've done a podcast before.
I have. Not many, but I have.
Yeah.
Like I'm a professional here, but I enjoy it though. It's fun.
Watch the chord. Yeah, we are. Look at that. That look good. It look good. It look way better on the phone.
Yeah,
than
I look like I am.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna share it to my page.
That was a picture?
No, that's the video.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I just saw that. I don't know how to use this thing.
Listen, I'm
like, tell me you love me, you want me, I don't know why
you call me mad crazy. Too hard to reach 'cause you in your bag lately. Spending my time with only you on the mind on the rest.
All right, go ahead.
You tell me I need you with the bullshit. Give me a minute for you to listen on.
Method heads, if y'all coming in here, you know how we do. We give y'all a few more minutes to come on in before we get started. We're gonna do about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start this thing up. Have you heard this song before right here? It's called Dupe. I'm really in my Afro beats the last couple of years.
From the inside, not trying to invade you. This space is just fine. And I hope that you just open up right. Not trying to bend you over for me.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Just by your vibe. I can tell that you bad, you know it. Don't care how long it takes, you can have my time. Just looking in your eyes, I know that you're better.
What's that?
Hold on, I think it's gonna go.
She made me wanna say.
Oh, DJ Noetic on Instagram.
She makes me wanna say. She makes me.
We finished doing some notes here.
You got me feeling blessed. Take time to make you love mine. And I will never from the rest. Don't need no reason. Because of you, I'm feeling blessed. Take time to make you love mine. Oh, fair dude, bye bye. She made me wanna say. She make me. How did you read my mind? Could tell that you're in tune. God knows, don't care how long it takes. You can have my time. Just looking in your eyes,
hey.
I know that you're elevated.
Y'all get your booster shots?
Oh,
No.
I really thought you were talking about a shot. I was like,
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, the booster shot. No. Yeah, that's what I heard. I just heard shots. I'm so sorry.
I mean, we can do shots. We can do shots.
I'm not opposed to that.
I have some shot glasses in there, too.
I won't be the only one taking a shot.
No, I'll do it with you.
I'll do one. Okay, yeah, it's a Thursday.
I might 5 minutes later.
What's that?
No, see, I live awfully close. Like maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, like I'm literally.
I'm actually in Brandon, so that was a bit of a drive. But my friend, her mom is not far from here, so I'm like, oh, I haven't been on this side in a while. Town and country.
It ain't that far.
It was like 40 minutes
From Brandon.
Yeah, it was like
does.
40 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
I was shocked.
Me in that traffic coming over here.
Yeah.
Especially depending on how far off the highway you gotta come.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was just, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, that day I saw you, Brittany, in Publix. I was like, oh, she must live over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's my stuff.
I actually like Town and Country, man.
I like it too. I really did. I was over here for a while, and then they raised the rent, and I was like, okay, let me find.
It's going up everywhere. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. It's depressing.
It really.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do now. My lease is up in January,
Okay.
and they're going up to like almost $1,100. I'm like, it's not worth it for a 1-bedroom.
But I don't know. It's gonna be really hard. No matter where you go. I think it was the Brady effect. Honestly, I think he like just made Tampa.
The inflation is
Crazy.
ridiculous.
That and everybody going from like the more expensive cities to like
Moving
the
here.
less expensive cities.
Yeah, everybody's moving.
Like everybody that live in like New York and California getting the hell out of there because the pandemic has fucked those places up. But they got money
So
selling
they
them
can come
houses and they can just come out here and buy houses for whatever. So that automatically increases
Going
the price of everything.
20,000 over the asking price because it's like it's still cheaper than New York or Cali. So people are just
it's nuts.
It's a crazy market, and we're still open. Like a lot of these places have actual shutdowns.
True.
You know,
Florida don't give a fuck.
It has not. It has not given a fuck
about COVID. So they're like, oh, it's warm and y'all still open. It's, so
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Go home.
I know.
Like, man, the traffic was already bad.
Oh my God, that's another thing that's kind of crazy. It's like, where am I?
Yeah, it's bad. It's so bad. I remember in traffic, I could get across to Courtney Campbell, no traffic. I could get across Howard Franklin, no traffic. I've been here 10 years.
Yeah. Oh,
so
11 now, maybe 12 in January. Yeah, about to be 12. It's different. It was really like a lot slower, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was good when we had. It was good for a while while we had
I
it.
feel bad for complaining about it.
I know, right? Well, I'm from Port St. Lucie, so this was like a big city to me. I moved to Tampa, and I was like, "Oh my God, like this is a city." And then it was like, "Okay, well, it's real. It's still like has homey vibes, and it gives me city vibes, so it's perfect." And now it's like city.
Too much.
Yeah, now it's like, okay, where am I? But
Yeah.
All right, man. It's 8:00. You ready?
Let's fucking do this.
It's 8:00. We're gonna start this thing up. Here we go. Welcome to a Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
I bring the content.
And I bring the chaos.
And with that, we believe the best way to have truthful conversations
is to have mostly everyone talking honestly over drinks.
And that's what we call a motherfucking method. This week, man, we're streaming live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and, well, I was going to do TikTok. We're not doing TikTok because we can't control our language sometimes. Every Thursday, you can catch us going over the method for good conversation. This week, we have two guests with us from the podcast, Makeup, Breakups, and Martinis. Sultana Queen, say what's up.
hey, you guys.
And we also have owner of Mary Grace Legacy, Brittany Nicole. Say hello.
Hello.
We thank you both for joining the show.
Welcome.
But what we drinking on, though? What y'all drinking on? I think we're drinking on the same thing.
Well, you got me into this, and it's not really a bad mix. It's really good.
It's not bad, right?
I'm drinking
The effing vodka.
green apple.
We did the green apple.
With splash.
I saw the Vanna White.
With the splash of ginger beer. Actually, I put more than a splash, but it's a good mix. I've never tried it.
It is a good.
It's not bad, right?
It's really, really smooth. I'm probably gonna take a couple drinks.
I call myself experimenting with different types of drinks. Remy, what you drinking on?
You know what I'm drinking on.
That quality H2O.
Aguanile.
So have you given up the drinking forever or just until the end of the year?
I'm gonna at least finish up this month and we'll see what happens after that.
Well,
I haven't had a drink since October 30th. Don't be proud of me.
High
Don't be proud of
five.
me.
No. What's wrong?
It's not like I'm an alcoholic or
No,
nothing.
We do.
I've been sober.
No, you know what? Like, especially for myself, because I just social drink and, do a lot of drinking. It's like you don't realize that your body probably needs like a little break.
Yeah. That
and like, so
it was hard for me to like really get to a point where I realized I need a break, and then I was just I felt like I was like so over the top at one point, because I kind of started smoking this year.
Oh, okay.
No, last year.
I think the smoking is what really did it.
The smoking and the drinking.
I think the smoking is what really did it.
It's like a combination.
Yeah, like when I smoke, I drink, and then the more I drink, the more I smoke, and the more I
Gotcha.
smoke, the more. So eventually, I'm
like,
to a point where I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I need to take a break.
Yeah,
Are you
taking a
stopping
break.
from smoking or just the drinking?
I smoked a couple times this year. I don't smoke like
As much.
I vape a little bit these days, but
Okay.
it's definitely significantly more minimal. But the thing about the reason that I drink when I smoke is because sometimes when I smoke, I feel like I get too high.
Got you.
And the thing that kind of brings me back is drinking. You know
so
what I'm
it's
saying?
like
It's a way to balance it out. Sometimes
It's a method, right? It's a method.
Sometimes I'm so gone. I'm like, I gotta do
You're
something.
like, I gotta
But
get it back
now. I think I found my happy medium to
Yeah.
smoke. And then also, if I don't smoke too much, it's fine.
Well,
like
that's
I'm not
good.
pressing it. So
That's good that you found, like, you realize, okay, I need to pull back, and you're actually pulling back. So
Balance.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Balance. All right, man. We will get into method movies. So we kick this podcast off with a clip from a movie that you guys have to guess, right? You and the method heads have to guess the movie. You can name. You won't see the video. Only I know the video.
Okay.
Listen to words, and if you know it as soon as you hear it, then you just blurt it out. All right. So here we go. Hold on 1 second.
I'm the worst at this game. I'm just gonna say that for
You know movies, though.
I
You
don't
might
really
get
know. Music, I'm good.
All right.
Movies, but I mean, I'm not.
I'm okay with movies.
All right. Let's see what y'all got.
Yeah.
First floor, factory rejects.
sounds like Jim
Those fools
Carrey.
are hard to frazzle, Max.
That's the Grinch.
We get over it.
Yes, it is the Grinch. It is the Grinch.
Allow the video to allow it to finish.
Like he didn't give y'all a chance. Like it's not very a gentleman. He was being a gentleman.
But it's definitely Jim Carrey.
It's Jim Carrey
Yeah.
and the Grinch. Are y'all Jim Carrey fans? Yeah, or nay?
I am.
Yeah?
Old school Jim Carrey. Like
Old school Jim Carrey?
I mean, I still love Jim Carrey now, but I mean,
He doesn't really do much now anymore, I
he doesn't
guess.
do much, right?
He's
Yeah.
into art. He's a painter.
Yeah.
I've seen
Art
that.
gallery. Yeah, he's been expressing his art in different ways.
Yeah, I like old school Jim Carrey.
Like,
But not
Yeah.
in Living Color. I mean, Living Color, he was okay.
What?
But he was, don't get me wrong, he was good, but I feel like he was better in like what's the movies he did? But The Mask, he was really good in The
of
Mask.
course. Yeah, like
He's
he had
gotten better,
He got
yeah.
better, and like he was a leading role. Like,
Correct.
He played the heck out of his
So
role.
what's your favorite Jim Carrey movie?
My favorite Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah.
Probably what's the one? Ace Ventura?
Oh, Ace Ventura.
I thought
yeah,
Ace
Pet
Ventura,
Ventura.
Pet
Ace
Detective?
Detective. Yeah, that was a good one.
I thought that. What about you?
I kind of like the Grinch actually.
You did?
I don't like a lot of the real older stuff because something about Jim Carrey and the way he like overacts, that's just a little much for me. Like I don't really need it. Like if I'm gonna get that from somebody, I kind of like how Robin Williams does it.
Oh,
Fair
of
enough.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's
Robin
like a
Williams,
master
yeah.
of what I think Jim Carrey does, but it's not so.
So then, what
gone
about
that it's
Marlon
nuts.
Wayans then? Because I was gonna say
He's
Marlon
another
Wayans
one.
is another
He's
overactor
another one,
where
yeah.
it's just like you trying too
Yeah.
hard.
It's like, come on,
Yeah.
it's toned it down. But I get it. Like,
Yeah, there's an audience.
There is an
All
audience for it. Some people love white chicks.
I hated
can't
white
stand that
chicks.
fucking movie.
Really?
I hated white
can't watch
chicks.
that movie. I don't like the concept. I
It
don't-
took me about 10 years to actually like it, and now I'm like, okay, you know what? It's all right.
But if it's 10 years, is it really good?
The only way I can watch that movie like legitimately
Drunk and
is if
high?
I too believe that these are probably white women. I know these ain't
You
white
know.
bitches.
Yeah.
These are not white
it's
bitches.
not easy. Yeah,
Like,
they're
I
not
believe-
passing.
Now you
They're
see,
not passing.
now you see Robin Williams as Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah,
That was
he
like
passed.
a woman.
Yeah, they really
they
were
did
that
that
role.
shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
they
They
didn't.
compare white chicks to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's
know, but
the
I-
same
Nasty.
kind of the
The
same
concept,
type
they're
of humor.
trying
in
to-
a
Men
way.
in dressed as women, I guess.
Yeah.
How y'all feeling about Christmas this year, man? Christmas is a week away. How y'all feeling? Are y'all grinching it right now? What's going on?
Listen,
Yeah, man. Listen. and the way my
Christmas is
bank account's set
canceled.
up.
I know that's right.
Christmas been canceled. Hey, COVID canceled everything.
No, that was
Christmas.
that was last year. That was last
Nah,
year.
it's still
Yeah.
Still
canceling
here.
shit,
It's
man.
still-
Omarion,
It's still canceled.
okay. Omarion came around and said, "We not done yet."
Omar, that Omarion strain need to chill, dog.
He said, "We ain't done yet."
I decorated a little bit. I mean, when you have kids, you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not completely anyway.
What'd you decorate? The house or like a tree?
No, the house. We have a small tree, nothing crazy.
Mm.
I have a lot of plants, so
You the plant lady.
I am a plant lady.
Newly plant lady too.
New
You
plant lady.
didn't
I
even do
I
plants
have a small
before.
problem. I gotta.
No,
You and my
listen.
friend Lori both.
The plant mom is real, but I'm a
I
bad
love
plant
it.
mom. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how to
Keep
take
them
care of-
alive.
Yeah, I don't. So
I just
I don't have a
started a
green
few
thumb.
months ago, and I mean, the more I learn, I'm getting better. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
It's a process, right?
It really is, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing a tree this year. Last year, that could be I've done a tree, but I don't think I'm doing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not in a bad mood.
yeah.
I just don't feel like
I
being
will
in the
say
Christmas
the
spirit.
cost of trees made me not want to do a tree.
Oh, is it real?
Oh,
It's
that's
expensive.
right.
It's really bad.
Well, that's why y'all don't do a
I
real
always
tree.
get real trees anyway.
That's your
Okay.
problem right
But,
there.
yeah, well, I, mean,
I
it
can't
makes
stand
your
real
house
trees.
Smell amazing. However,
Yeah.
I went to price them, and I'm like, half of the size of what I got last year. It was like double the price, and I'm
Okay.
like, I don't care that much.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you have to be getting a real tree because the ones at Walmart are probably the same little plastic ones.
Right.
It's
I mean,
probably
that's the way to go. I mean, you can have Christmas whenever you
Got the,
want.
got the little Charlie Brown tree.
forever.
Yeah.
Just keep one tree.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown tree.
My
That's
tree
funny.
is like sitting there waiting for me to put it up. But
Come
I'm
on.
like,
Well, you know, if you
do I
put it
really
up, your
wanna-
cat's gonna tear it down, though.
Nah, they usually handle it. I mean, technically, when I first got the small cat, his favorite thing was like cuddle up under the Christmas tree or whatever, so he would like it.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like the only real reason to put a Christmas tree up is if you're gonna put presents under it. And that's
Yeah.
probably not gonna happen in my house.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not
ain't no
doing
kids.
presents.
I'm not
Right.
putting presents for the cats under the tree.
Right, like that's the thing. Like all my gifts are going to someone else's household, so I'm not gonna put
Yeah.
a tree up and I'm
Yeah.
buying the
But
gifts.
but I'll say I do like the Christmas. I like the vibe that a tree does give you.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna
It's
put a
good
tree up,
walking
though,
in, get the lights.
if I'm gonna
Yeah.
put a tree up, I'm leaving that shit up all year. I'm not taking it down.
Oh my
For real,
God.
and I've done it before, and it was fucking amazing.
All
I had it
year?
up all year. Hell yeah, and I
So
loved
then we
it.
gotta decorate it. That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I loved it. I was like, why not? Christmas all year.
Christmas all year. Keep you in the mental mode
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Christmas movie? Because I kind of feel like mine's is kind of probably Jingle Jangle.
Jingle jangle bangs.
And it was pretty good.
No, again, I'm
You
not
giving
gonna-
faces about jingle
Huh?
jangle? You don't like jingle
No,
jangle?
it's not that I do. I'm gonna call it a favorite. Not
Oh,
What's your
man.
favorite? What's your favorite?
So every
Charlie
year-
Brown.
No, we do watch A Christmas Story every year,
Mm,
so that's one of my favorites.
that is a good one.
That's the one with Chevy Chase. Who's in that one?
No,
A
that's
Christmas Story. That's with
The kids.
The little boy. I can't think.
Oh,
of his
yeah.
name.
the old. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
That'd probably be one of my favorite Christmas movies. The Home Alone.
Yeah, Home
Oh, that was a
Alone's
good one.
good.
That was a good one.
Tana, you
National
got one?
about-
I actually don't. I don't have
How you
it.
not got
I
one?
know.
Y'all do know Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right?
Yeah, go
Die
ahead.
Hard.
Die Hard, Die Hard is a Christmas
Yeah, right
movie.
there
I
with
gotta
you.
watch it.
Die
That's
Hard is a
fair.
Christmas
somebody
movie.
said Die Hard?
I'm kind of falling into the camp where I'm feeling like it's not a Christmas movie.
I mean, it's really not, but it came out every Christmas though.
It does, really?
A new
You
one
know
came out for every year almost.
So it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a Christmas.
it
Yeah.
might as well be a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
All right, well then, can I put Coming to America because they had the Christmas
No.
party at the house?
I mean, if you want
You
to.
know what? Yeah.
Right?
If you want to,
it was
you
around-
could.
it was snowing.
Yeah, why not?
A little bit of snow,
You know what?
it's got to be it.
I'm gonna rewatch Coming to America and see if I
Yeah, they had
can.
a little Christmas
feel
party.
that
That's
Christmas
right.
vibe.
You're right. They did.
See?
Yeah, because the only thing that makes Die Hard a Christmas movie is that the setting happens during Christmas.
Christmas.
Exactly.
They don't really
So then-
acknowledge Christmas. There's no
Exactly.
Santa
Well,
Claus
then,
in the
Coming
movie.
to
Like
America.
Yippee ki
it's
yay,
just a bunch of death and,
motherfucker.
it's just a bunch of death and destruction.
Reading.
All right, man. We're moving into method lessons. Remy, what is method lessons, man? Let the
Method
ladies know.
Lessons is a simple segment there where we just talk about something we learned recently.
It can be anything. It can
It could be anything. It could
Something
be-
silly.
It could be a word. I'm notorious for sharing words.
You
that
ain't
I've
done a
learned
word in a
recently.
while though. You've
I
been
feel
kind of
like
slipping.
I had one, but I forgot it. But I
Been kind of slipping. So you gonna go first on your lesson?
I can go first. I learned that if you lose something, make sure you check the baby's diaper.
Mm.
Because
That's a freak accident, man.
It's a strong chance. Like earlier today, I found myself across town helping a friend look for a lost key. And we looked for 2 hours, didn't find nothing. And then when I left, she sends me a text. She was like, I found it. And I'm like, dog, where'd you find it? She was like, not where we was looking. And I was like, well, where the hell was it? She was like, it was in the baby's diaper. I was like, this
what? That just sounds like some kind of movie.
And she said she checked the baby, but she just didn't check deep enough, I guess. You know?
Well, if he stole it, he probably found it. That sounds like he
got to check. The baby got it. Check the baby's diaper. If you got babies, check the baby's diaper.
That's fair.
That's always the worst when you lose something and you can't find it. You know, it's like, I know I put it right here, and you look everywhere, you tear everything. Like not in the diaper. That's freak. I wouldn't check the diaper.
Yeah, that would have got me too. You know, to check the diaper. But that's dope though. Like
last you found the key. Like, ain't no worse than losing your key.
Changing him, and then it's like, whoa!
Just so happened to find it.
Wow. Can you imagine her expression? She was probably like, ain't no way.
Yeah, and we tried to figure out like how it even got there. Like,
freak accident.
Baby was probably like, I'll take that. I don't need this.
Let me hold on to that.
So what I learned this week, I was reminded this week that we have to pay attention to how people question you and talk to you when they might be frustrated with you or something didn't go as planned. Because I had something didn't go that we both agreed on. It didn't kind of work out. And I found them questioning me a certain kind of way that was kind of disrespectful. And I was like, I said, you know what? I had to check them because if you allow people to talk to you any kind of way, then they'll keep doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes even the people you think are your friends will question you in a disrespectful way or say something in a disrespectful way. You're like, wait a minute, hold the fuck up.
Yeah, that didn't hit me right.
Yeah, you know, have you ever had to check someone because of how they question you or talk to you, and not just strangers, like just someone, family or friends?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not really good at that.
Oh my God, I'm not good at like shut down.
No, you just shut down.
I hold that shit. I take that shit and I just walk away with it. And then I'm like, all right, let me just. That was a fluke. It was whatever, and then it'll happen again. And then by that time, I'm just kind of like, all right, well, fuck this person. And then, of course, by the next time, by the time it happens the third time, then it's a big thing.
3 times.
Yeah, by the third time, But the problem is that it's like I'm so pissed off by this time. Like this has happened with my boss.
I'm sorry.
I'm an Aries.
I'm an Aries too.
Wow.
This is
I'm
crazy.
410 over here. What's up? All right. It's always good to meet another Aries. I feel like I don't meet enough. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, okay,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So,
yeah, that's what I learned. I was just like,
is that and that's a good way to be. It's a better way to be because you kind of you nip it in the bud. You're like, I don't fuck with that type of energy.
Yeah.
Chill out. But me, I'll let that energy pass, and then I'll let it pass again. And by the third time, it's like, all right, well, I guess we got to fight now. Like, there's no other way.
I feel like
you don't have it in between.
Yeah,
Aries does not have it in between.
Wow.
I feel like that's kind of passive aggressive, right?
Wait, it is passive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You mean to
not say anything, right? 2 or 3 times. Cause here's my thing. Like, I get not saying anything.
Well, it's more passive than aggressive because more passive aggressive would be kind of saying something in regards to, but maybe playing it off as a joke.
Yeah,
true.
Well, you know. So I think that's how we come to know passive aggression. But I think what you're saying is true. I think it is technically a form of passive aggression because it's like I have feelings about this, but I'm just gonna let it pass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't do it no more.
Doubt for the first round is I can understand that. Maybe you just didn't realize how that sounded.
Yeah,
but round 2.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the thing about it is,
like, I ain't gonna let you keep talking to me like that. Just so you know,
we don't let this again.
I know with like me, it's like when it's probably like not even something like big. There's like a small trigger, and then you're like, all right, you know, it's the aggression. And
you because it's built up at that point. You're ready to pop.
That
you never shared it.
And that's the thing. It's like they have no clue,
and they have no idea that you had a problem with it in the first place
because you let it slide so many times, and so it is passive. Listen, I had to do my little journaling too. Like, I've never expressed that I had a problem So there's no way for them to know
To
that.
know.
And then, like, if I said something, then okay, I get it. Now you keep trying.
Now round 3, I get to go off.
Right. I have my reasons.
Now it's
but
justified.
if it's like something that I'm internalizing and I'm not saying,
Yo, that's
you know,
toxic.
It's
Low key, that's a little. It's a little toxic.
I've given you the chance to fix it.
No, well, yes, but I
And
mean,
you
like,
chose
if-
violence.
depending
so let's do
on-
violence.
but depending on how you carry it. But if you're like, you know, I'm just hold on to this so I can fuck them up later because I feel like I don't want to fuck them up anyway, so I'm gonna just hold that.
but you're holding it, you're not saying it's a problem.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where it's the
Yeah, you
problem.
It's a
definitely.
problem. You're
It's
not saying
definitely.
anything.
I do the same thing.
It's
I'm very
definitely
proud.
good to deal with stuff initially before it becomes a big.
Cause right then, then when you check it right then and there, either they gonna stop or they gonna say, "No, fuck you, I can say whatever I
And if
want,"
they don't,
Right.
and then you can just say, "All right, you know what? This is over. This
Right.
friendship is
Yeah.
over with."
Right.
right.
But yeah.
if you don't check it, then it's like, oh, okay. Well, then I can talk to them that kind of way. And listen, I've been there. I'm the nicest person, and I'm tired of the word nice.
Yeah. What y'all learn this week? Anything?
So it's
Or anytime. Since this is your first time on the podcast, it can be from last 2 years ago.
Your life.
We wouldn't know.
I would say the biggest thing I've learned through this year
Mm-hmm.
has been the power of patience.
Mm.
I did not realize how impatient of an individual I always thought I had it. But when you are running a new business and have babies, and my youngest daughter, she's I guess considered disabled. She, has nonverbal autism and is developmentally delayed. And I juggle a lot, like on
Yeah.
a day-to-day basis. And I know, like, I have a vision for where I want my life to be and what I want things to look like.
Yeah.
And I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I'm not near there. And I'm inching my way to it. But it's like, man, if this don't hurry up.
Right.
Right.
But however, when you, and I think I learned this way with taking care of my plants too, when you like really take your time and just nurture each and every step along the way.
Yeah.
When you look back, you're like, man,
Yeah.
this has been a really cool journey. So my I guess my slogan for this year or going into the next year is that, the destination is the journey itself.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
And I've just really embraced it. So that's been my lesson.
You probably do have patience. What I've learned is that I have patience, but I don't have patience for certain things. Like I don't have patience to cook, right?
Ooh.
Like I'm when I'm ready to cook, I'm ready to eat. I'm already hungry. I'm like,
Right.
I'm burning shit. I'm like, but cooking takes patience.
It does.
Right?
It really does.
It does. You can't rush it. And so, but I do have patience in general,
There's
but
so
certain
much-
things I don't have patience for.
There's so much of cooking where you just got to look at the food and just see just wait till it do what it do. Like,
But I'm the same way. It's like by the time I want to cook, I'm hungry.
Mm.
So I'm about to go get something to eat because I want to eat right now.
Yeah.
Take something out.
Didn't
Right.
plan
I
it.
didn't pre-plan.
Didn't plan it.
And-
You know,
Y'all don't
thought-
plan these
I know.
I don't
everything
plan
in
them.
the world is like, we got you. You want a delivery? You want
Right.
whatever you want, fast food.
Let me pay $45 for this delivery. It's so much cheaper.
Well, you know what?
You got a device in your hand that'll get you whatever you want in the world.
Right.
Like,
Right.
how am I supposed to cook?
Right. Exactly. Right.
It's crazy.
No,
Tana,
but-
what you learned this week? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. You're. I was gonna say. So. It was crazy that you talked about the whole passive aggression. Sorry, the drink is kind of
Right.
but that's something that I've been like working on because that's something that I definitely struggled with. Like I felt like people should just know, like, oh, okay, this bothered me, or the way you said something bothered me, and maybe I'll get an apology. But if you never say anything
Facts.
and you're just internalizing
Mhm.
it and you're saying in your head like, oh damn, and then all of a sudden you like, well, this is a problem.
Yeah.
There was no like steps of
Mhm.
expressing that, okay, this was an issue.
Yeah.
And I didn't like this. And that's, I think that's like important to have that communication, which is something I'm working
100%,
on.
100%.
I guess that's the word.
Absolutely.
Communicating, feelings and things like that. So
And it's
Yeah, I'm
it's
all
all
about that.
It's all a balancing act if you really think about it. Like, you don't want to be passive aggressive, but you also don't want to be aggressive.
Overly
Because some people will
confrontational.
fight off,
Yeah.
getting their
Yeah.
foot stepped on or whatever. Like they'll fight off a mistake or
Right.
an accident. It's
But
like,
it's more so with like friendships and people
Mhm.
that know you.
right.
So it's like I
Mhm.
should be able to communicate with you and
Yeah.
you not have a problem with what I said.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I'm just expressing myself. And if that's a problem for me to express myself, then maybe we're not as close as we thought. Because
Yeah.
I should be able to say, like, hey,
Yeah.
this hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I
100%.
didn't like that. And then we
Yeah.
can, you know, move on or,
Mhm.
you know, adjust.
And if they really fuck with you, they be like, you know, my bad. Bro.
Yeah, they
I
would
didn't-
adjust.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
And
Like-
if they
like, I
don't, then
didn't
that's
see it.
when you realize, okay, then there's a person or there's
Yep.
an issue like, hey, all right, we're not cool. So it's taking those small steps to communicate little small things. And I think all friendships like have to go through tests.
Oh yeah.
So if they don't go through a
Mhm,
test, it's not
mhm.
really like a friendship because,
Right.
you know,
Any relationship where you're
Every
that
relationship.
intimately involved with somebody.
right. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
have,
definitely am at a place in my life. I got to be able to say how I feel in a very. I'm gonna say it just like this. Like I'm not gonna have this high energy.
right.
I'm a very even kill person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look, baby, or look, Remy. Other day, he ain't never done that. I'm just giving an example.
While
But
we're
yeah.
Yeah.
So my last thing that I learned this week that I could probably live the nudist life 50% of the time if I had the option.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are y'all around nudity?
I'm,
In
I'm not getting naked or anything. I'm just
In my
curious.
I'm like, are we trying to sweat left real quick? Well, how y'all about nudity? Let's
So how I learned this
Now
because
for the real part.
so the last couple of years I've been
Get it,
dabbling
get it.
in the nudist lifestyle. I've gone to like certain resorts and stuff like that. And this past weekend I was hanging out with some friends in Miami
okay.
who were definitely part of that lifestyle. And like for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was probably nude 80% of the time.
Oh, wow.
In the pool, in the hot tub, just enjoying, getting his farmer's hand all taken care of. But I was like, but
No
prior to
sandals.
that though, like I was kind of a little self-conscious. I think we're all self-conscious
Yeah,
about our
of course.
bodies, right?
Of course.
Mhm.
But what I've learned is that your body is actually pretty damn dope.
Yeah.
We just pick ourselves apart.
Mm.
And
That's fair.
being in that environment showed me that so I'm all right.
Freedom,
I'm
yeah.
good. You know what I mean? So because in Black culture, we don't really talk about sex,
Right.
nudity, right? It's all taboo.
Mhm.
And so it's not until we get older to you experiment and try things differently.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in your house, you're all okay with nudity, but you wouldn't go to like a resort or anything. See, the cringe on her face, the cringe.
I am interested in like having the conversation. Like I love to hear about people's experiences. I wouldn't necessarily down it because I've never done it. I won't knock it.
Mhm.
I just don't have there's not a feeling in me that says, you know, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I just only because and there's the self-conscious part of it, but I don't know if I really want to just walk around looking at a bunch of naked people. I think
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I do wonder, is there a correlation between enjoying being nude and enjoying seeing nudity? Like, do you really like just seeing people of all
You know what the thing is though?
varieties?
You don't
Right.
actually look at people's bodies like that. Initially, I
I've
think
heard
you
that.
do. Initially, you do because you're the newbie or you're the new person in this environment, and you're like, oh, she
And
got
it's new. Like it's not the norm. So you're like,
Yeah.
I've heard that though.
and then you become
kinda-
desensitized to it. 'Cause you're like,
Mhm.
everybody,
Start to see
this is
past
just
Exactly. After a while, you're not looking at nothing. You're just having a conversation. It's just the freedom of not having to hide yourself.
Mm.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
I think for me, I'm entirely too self-conscious even with clothes on.
Mhm.
So walking around butt ass naked trying to feel normal.
It
it's gonna be
takes-
a long
But
time.
then I
Yeah.
wonder too
It's
about
gonna be
the
a long
hygiene of the
time.
next individual. Like I don't trust people
Oh, that-
again with clothes on
Yo,
walking around.
wouldn't that be the worst if you like
So
if
I
you're in a
walk up-
nudist environment and you could smell motherfuckers too?
Ooh.
Well, you
Yeah.
shouldn't
Like-
be able to
Well, I
smell
always say
anyone.
that if I go to a
Right.
resort and I walk up to
'Cause
a
they have
bar
water
scene,
and they
I
just-
see, like, booty dust on the seat. I'm gonna be
You said
upset.
booty dust?
Booty
You
dust.
said booty dust.
like fairy dust.
What booty does look like?
Well,
Booty
I-
dust.
I see booty dust on the bar
Holy
stool. I'm gonna be upset.
Oh my
I don't want to
gosh.
sit here now.
Yo,
You know?
somebody clean this booty
Yeah,
dust.
Oh my God.
what was happening here? So I don't know. That's another reason why I'm just like,
Well, I
Clean
mean,
up in aisle 3. There's booty dust on the floor. Clean this booty dust.
I mean, is it magical? I don't know.
So you wouldn't do it, Tana?
So here's the thing. So I am from a Haitian household.
Yes, very conservative.
Very, very conservative.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't have a sweater on right now is like I'm literally learning how to not wear a sweater in 80-degree weather. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny because Yeah, like someone called me out on like wearing like 3 outfits to the beach because I had on my bathing suit, some shorts, and then a cover up that was
Yeah.
and it was like,
and you got a nice physique, so it's like
right,
not that I'm looking or
thank you.
anything.
No, thank you.
Method
That's the
is.
thing.
Jay
It's
is
just like
looking.
it's just I was raised in the church and everything, and so like I
Mhm.
had to always be covered up. So I'm actually
Right.
getting more comfortable with like being,
Showing-
uncovered,
yeah.
showing a little bit of skin. So
Mhm.
Right.
right now maybe no, but maybe like when I'm 80, and everybody else,
Yeah.
when I get a little bit older, it's like F it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just the freedom of it. I can imagine
Right.
getting
sure.
there. Yeah, like I don't care.
So let me ask you a
I don't know where
question.
I go,
What is
but
it
I'm
that
with
you
you.
enjoy about being nude?
No, it's just really it's the not feeling inhibited.
Yeah, like I can see the freedom of it.
We
You know
wear
what
our
I'm saying?
clothes all day,
Right.
every day. We feel protected by this clothes, even though we may say, "Oh, my stomach's not flat enough,"
Right.
or my I don't have muscles, or I don't have whatever. So we always talk negative about ourselves,
Right.
and then we get in an environment where you can just be free and be
Mhm.
yourself without
Right.
judgment.
Right.
It's a very
freeing thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
can
know?
see
Do
why
you think
people
that
do it.
having that type of freedom has, shifted the way that you approach your everyday life?
Say that again.
Do you think that having that type of freedom and experiencing that has, it adjusted the way that you?
For
approach
sure. I mean,
everyday life?
I'm a pretty free spirit person in general. And I don't know if I would have dabbled in that lifestyle if some of my friends weren't already doing it. And they was
Right.
like, hey, I want to do this and I think you should do it. And one of my other friends was kind of unsure about doing it. And she was like, go with me because I've never done it before. All right, cool, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, what I got to lose? You know what I mean?
Right.
Then you get there and you're like, that person is super wrinkled. Or that person's body is 50 times worse than mine. And you just realize, you know what?
But then it seems like the joy and the freedom.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't
And you're like,
you know what? I want to get to that place because
100%.
Listen, again, I was at the beach with like 3 outfits on, and I like to see like people who are like, this sounds bad, but like bigger people who are just in the water and it's like, fuck it. And I'm like,
Enjoying
man,
it.
I can't even do that. Like I literally haven't done this and do this all the time. Like I'll go in the water with my shorts on because I'm that self-conscious. So I definitely want to get to a place of freedom like that.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't care what you think. I love myself. I love my body. I'm healthy. So that's got to be like a liberating feeling. For sure.
All right, man. That's a longer method lesson than normal, but it's good conversation, though. It's good conversation. Good conversation. Let's get into the interview portion, man. So I'm going to start off interviewing Miss Queen over here.
Oh my gosh!
And you can do Miss Brittany.
Oh dear.
All right. And so my first question is: I know your podcast is on hiatus at the moment, but the episodes are still out there to listen to. What is your podcast about for the people who may want to go listen to a different podcast?
And what's the name of it again?
Yes. So I am a co-host to Makeup Breakups and Martinis. My other co-host is Nicole, and our podcast is about dating relationships. But we sprinkle a little bit of everything in there. We talk about life, we talk about family, mental health. It was 4 years, so there's a lot of information, but definitely
that's crazy. 4 years.
It was.
So y'all started right around the same time I did All Tea No Shade.
Yeah, around the same time. Quick pivot. So I have to give you credit because you actually pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
I
was checking on it. I was like, yeah, what's going on? Where the episodes
But no,
at?
there was a point. You guys did a live show, and it reminded me of that Everett commercial or Everest commercial, that whatever. Where he's like, so what are you waiting for? Yeah, right.
The one where he verbally abused you. Like, get your ass in school. Right. What your punk ass not doing in school for?
It was kind of that. He was like, why?
Are you ready, man?
It was kind of like that. Like, why you didn't start your podcast? Just do it.
Yeah.
Just jump in. If you want to start a podcast, do it. It's not going to be perfect. Jump in, and fix it along the way. And I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Gotta just do it.
Yeah. And so, it was that. And then we had some friends who were like pushing us, and then we got started. But I definitely remember that, live show. Where you're like, just, if you want to start, and everything will work out. So Yeah, so we were doing it for 4 years, but it's definitely relationship based. Like we talk about, gosh, there's been so many episodes, interracial dating, and
because your co-host is she's Caucasian. She biracial.
She's biracial.
She's biracial.
It's biracial.
Biracial. Who was that? That was like a.
I don't know. It was like some. I watched way.
A lot of perspective.
Yeah.
That's my jam. That's my jam.
Shout out to my
She's
love.
biracial.
I haven't seen her in a while either.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, so she's Honduran and white.
Is she?
She is.
Wow,
Yeah.
Honduran. I did not know that.
Yeah. So so we did definitely have different perspectives. You know, she is a hopeless romantic, and I definitely was a commitment phobe. I'm working on that way better. But so we always had our different perspectives, and then we brought in our guest co-host. And you know,
I was on there one time. I was
Yes,
on there
you
one
were.
time. I was on there.
Right on.
Vulnerability. That was the episode that we did. I remember. Listen, I did the editing. I remember all these episodes. So we just really talked about delved into relationships and like dating in general, dating in this new culture.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my 30s, she's in her 30s, so like we came from an era where it wasn't Tinder. You know, we remember like the meeting in person kind of thing, and now we're trying to like adapt to Tinder and this fast-paced dating where we want to move too fast, or
it came on. It's all right.
You know, this fast-paced dating and you know, trying to navigate like, hey, we want to find a real connection with someone, but this is how it's going now. Like we have to really like move with the
it's
pace.
Different, man.
It's different. It's way different. It's way different. So it's like, all right, well, this is how it goes. Someone ghosts you, but you can't take it personally. You know what I mean? Like this is just a part of it. And sometimes you are the ghoster.
Sometimes you are the ghoster.
Sometimes
people complain about being ghosted. They don't want to admit that they ghost people too.
You know what I'm saying?
I am guilty of it, but I've grown from that. I know better because once you experience it, that's not gonna
So then what do? Do you actually have the conversation like, you know what, this isn't working?
If necessary,
Takes a while.
Yeah, I will. And I don't always, what I'm good at is saying, you know, this isn't working out or I'm not interested or what have you. And then I'll block them after that because I don't want to have the conversation.
See,
you know, I don't want to convince you of what I'm I don't owe you an explanation. This is what I'm feeling.
Right.
You know these words. Move forward.
See,
go in peace.
There's something to talk about.
I don't.
This is not a conversation.
I don't think people that you initially meet, you owe them anything, right? If we only had a few conversations, I don't care if you ghost me or I ghost you.
No, of course.
But if I go on a few dates and we've been, like, I'm not going to ghost you at that point. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. If you've gone
on a few dates,
I'm not going to ghost you.
Been like sincerely interacting with
I'm not going to ghost you.
Especially if you think things are all good, like you're constantly hitting me up or I've lost interest, but you're still going at the same momentum, then you clearly feel a way.
Yeah.
I could at least tell you so that you're not constantly hitting a brick wall. That's
that's not nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, so, like you're saying, learning that, okay, if it's been a one date, maybe that person doesn't owe you anything and I don't owe that person anything. Like we're just going to go our separate ways. But then, you know, like you're saying, I guess you feel like, you know, you have that boundary of after a certain number of dates or interactions, you do feel like you should have that conversation. A lot of guys, you know, a lot of people don't feel that. They can go on 3 or 4 dates and then ghost. And it's like, what happened?
I ain't gonna lie. I ghosted
my girl don't owe you nothing.
I ghosted a lady the other day because she kept on calling me by my government name. I was like, look, I told you plenty of times to call me Jay. Like, you are not in the circle to call me Jared.
Oh,
right?
See, now I know it too.
And she kept on saying, hey, Jared, how are you? I was like, Jay. She was like, excuse me. I was like, no, call me Jay.
And then you ghosted her.
And that is such
but hold on.
So she didn't even know what happened.
It's a simple request. The only people that call me Jared are family and people from back in Virginia. So if I told you multiple times to call me Jay and you still insist, I feel like you don't know boundaries. You don't know boundaries.
But at the same time, she is on a cliffhanger. Like, I don't know what we were in the middle of a conversation. I said, Jared, one more time.
Fuck this shit, man. I ain't got time for this.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's
that
like,
goes back to what we were talking about earlier with, you know, that
passive aggressive. Yeah, like, hey, I didn't like that.
Because she doesn't know that she did something wrong.
Right.
But you're treating her as if she does.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I said it multiple times.
So she did.
My thing is you did ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you said like,
if you never
if I never told her, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if I said it multiple times and you still insist on doing it.
How did you say it? Like, was it every time or was it just like
every time?
Every time. Okay. Like
every time I corrected her.
Some people think that's cute.
Nah, fuck that.
Right. So I had somebody that a long time ago. They were like, I hate my middle name, and then I wanted to like use it. And it's like no, and then it's like okay, no, you're serious.
And I have no problem with my name, Jared.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh, I think Jared is better. Like, I don't care what you think. I haven't even gone out.
You to call me Jay.
Yeah. But anyway.
But no,
Yeah.
so I mean, that's what our podcast was about. It was like learning how to date in this new age and still trying to capture that chemistry and that old age feeling and real like a connection with people and a person. So
Why did you decide to do a podcast?
ooh, that's a good one. So like again, I am Haitian and I came from a very conservative background, so we never talked about dating, sex, anything.
So you want to talk about it.
Right. But not only that, it was just like I was thrown in to like dating and going to college and everything. And I mean, during college I did nothing. I was like a hermit introvert.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually college is where
right.
the
I need to
wild
go
out
back.
happens.
I need to go. I did nothing. But
It's all right.
no, so after, I started dating and it was like
Just hit your cord right there. I think it's that cord.
It's misbehaving.
listen, I'm an editor, so I'm like, I know the sound.
It's fine. Yeah, you good.
No, just like learning how to date. Like I was like learning on the fly, and I was dating in the beginning of that culture. So it was like Tinder was actually like a relationship podcast. Like you would actually find like good quality people. But I can look back and say I didn't know how to date. And then I was finding people who weren't trying to date. And so after that, it was just like, I was talking with my friends and we'd have all these conversations and it's like, oh my God, everybody's going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we're all going through these different relationship struggles and Nicole was going through a divorce and, there was like no outlet.
I knew somebody was going through a breakup or something. I thought it was you, but it was Nicole that was going through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole was going through,
Gotcha.
her divorce and it was just like, we're not talking. We don't talk about our failures in dating.
Yeah.
We don't talk about our failures in relationship.
Right.
And I just wanted to create a platform. We wanted to create a platform where like we could talk about it, and like have other people like, come on and give their input. So it was pretty dope because we learned a lot. We shared a lot. Some stuff I want to take back, but no regrets.
Well, that's a good segue to my next question.
Yeah.
You say you learned a lot. So do you have an episode that's your favorite episode?
Oh, gosh, there were so many favorites. There were so many good episodes, good gems. I can't. It's like my babies. I can't pick.
You can't pick one. That's okay.
I can't pick one, but I remember.
Oh, come on. Everybody got a secret baby.
that they love the
Come
most.
on, they just don't tell nobody.
I mean, so like I love the mental health episodes where we, really got and deep about mental health. I love the vulnerability episode. Like we talked, that's one of the things that I struggle with, like vulnerability, because I was
a lot of people do.
Yeah. So like just having that conversation. But I think there was one that always stood out to me, and it was like not the deepest episode, but it was just like I learned something about how a guy thought. So it was
How you got what?
how guys think.
Gotcha.
Not the thought, like teachers. I know. Y'all young kids use these
I ain't no
terms.
thought. I
Guys thought. Yeah. No, like the THO.
How we even thought?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
That's a good lesson. It's a good lesson.
So it was with Mr. Wright. Shout out to Mr. Wright. We love him. And when I say we, it's me and Nicole. It's like that's like my co-host is always with me. But he was just like explaining like how men think.
Yeah.
It's like. Like some guys are always like trying to push a woman's limits. And if she doesn't set that limit or that boundary for herself, then a guy will continue to push it. Like,
facts.
You know what I mean? So she has to really like set a boundary for herself. Even though the way he said it wasn't like that, that's what I took from it. It was just like, he said it. Like, he was a thought. Like, so he's like, I'm going to push her boundaries and see how far she'll go, and then I'll just go to the next girl. Because and I was like, thank you for that lesson.
Very interesting.
It was like a backwards reverse lesson that was like, oh man, you think you're pouring your heart out and you're showing yourself, and like that's being received, and it's like, nah, oh, you fell for it.
Oh,
sure.
You fell for it. So
It's
set your
funny,
standards,
too.
set your
Because
boundaries.
they always saying that we use their feelings against them, but
Yeah,
guess
right.
we getting weaponized too.
Well, the thing is, it's just like setting your boundaries. Make
Yeah,
sure
of
you
course.
know that you have your set
Mm.
boundaries, and then you're not crossing that.
100%.
And
Right.
100%.
I'm telling you, the no has a lot of power. Like saying no, setting your
Absolutely.
boundaries. I'm learning that. I'm still in the process because I'm very nice, but that no is a lot of boundaries. It's a lot of power in saying no.
Absolutely.
So
Where can people find your podcast?
oh man, so we are on Google. Listen.
Don't worry about it.
She been drinking. She been drinking.
Well, you know what? I was actually about to. You know what? I think that was the Holy Spirit. I was about to stop me because I was gonna say Google Play, and there's no Google Play anymore, right?
It's not?
Is it?
There's a Google Podcast.
Google Pods. They have pods. Yeah.
Okay, because what happened was I switched from Android to an iPhone. And then I remember when I was doing the switch, they said like Google Play was gone, and I never figured out what happened.
Google
with that.
Pod. It's on
Okay,
Pods
Google
now.
Pod. Okay,
Yeah.
so Google Pod, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor. I think that might be it.
You used to
And
be
then
on
we-
SoundCloud. Are you still on SoundCloud?
Yeah. You can find most of our episodes on SoundCloud as well.
I found it tonight
What's
on
the,
Spotify, so that's where y'all should go.
Yeah.
What is
Spotify.
the at that you use on SoundCloud or the?
So it would be at Makeup Breakups and Martinis.
Right
so
on.
it's Makeup Breakups with an S, and then and Martinis. Makeup Breakups and Martinis.
Right on.
You should find us, and we'll have the little glass with the orange, and you'll find us.
All right. We're definitely happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Y'all go check her out. You get opportunity.
That was a long. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't matter. We're here. We want to make sure we
I didn't know
highlight.
it was
We believe in highlighting our guests,
Thank
whatever they have going on, and so it was much appreciated. Mr. Remy, sir.
What's up, Brett?
Hi.
Long time no talk. I think it's been about like a year and a half since we had a.
Has it been that long?
I mean, last time we talked was on the Mulatto Perspective,
Right.
and it was a nice deep
You
conversation.
was on the Mulatto Perspective?
Yeah, it was a nice deep conversation at Tijuana Flats.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
we
fun.
wow.
smoked a little weed, and then we went in there and just talked it out. Just talked about some stuff.
By weed, he means like not actual weed.
No, not actual.
Theory.
Yeah. We just caught some vibes in the air. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
the
So we talked about a lot of that time, but I'd like to definitely rehash a little bit of it. But
Sure.
I think the main thing I want to have you highlight is your business. Tell people what you do.
Sure. So I created.
Say it with your chest.
Yes.
I own a what I call a self-care and a hygiene line of products. The title I named it Mary and Grace All Natural Whole Body Essentials, which is actually Mary Grace Legacy is the parent company. I created this company. Oh, there was a little bit of a journey too. So I've made skincare products for myself and my children for as long as I can remember. My son dealt with eczema, having a premature daughter, very sensitive skin. A lot of things just didn't really sit well with her. So I took it upon myself to learn, what works and what doesn't.
All right.
Shortly after losing my mom, or my grandmother, I should say, I was orphaned as a child and adopted by my grandparents. So shortly after losing my grandmother, I thought to myself, I wanted a way to kind of honor her and my mother, Mary and Grace.
That's
So
beautiful.
I'm making.
I was curious about that.
I'm
Okay.
making butters, and I should sell this, kind of a thing. And so I started looking through recipes, and I ran it by a close friend of mine, and it's like, I think that's dope. So, I think I'm gonna do it. And it was one of those things where I really didn't know. I don't know much about running a business to that capacity.
Yeah.
It's definitely caused me to have to think outside of what I normally would. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Mhm.
And we're just gonna see what happens.
Just do it.
So I started with like a handful of stuff, kind of shopped it out, got feedback, and people loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
People love natural products, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black people love. What was that lotion everyone used back in the day? The cocoa butter.
Yeah.
Cocoa butter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And the more that I learned about like what's in commercial products and
Mhm.
how they create their customers by making sure these products are gonna have you rebuy their products.
Oh, wow.
I said to myself, you know what? And when you start to like shop for things that are truly organic and truly all natural, they get pricey.
Mhm,
And I'm
mhm.
like, we deserve access to stuff that
Mhm.
actually makes sense. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
So
And by we, she mean black people.
I do.
Mm.
Deserve access to
Black-owned
stuff that makes
business.
sense. We shouldn't
Black-owned.
have to sell, our arm and our leg to make sure that what we're putting on our bodies makes sense.
Right.
And what you put on there is just as important as what you put in. So
I just want to say for his next question is that method heads, you see the shiny head in mine? I put her lotion on my head after I shave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't put it on my skin too much, but I do put it on my face. But you don't want a rough bald head after you shave your head. So I shave my head and I put my little cream on
Looks
there
good.
and I get a lotion and I put it on there to make
I
sure
love
it's nice
to
and
see it.
smooth.
I love to
So
see it.
I am a customer. I need to restock, but I recommend the products.
Where do
Yeah.
you wait? Where can I find you?
I am online at www.marygracelegacy.com.
Nice.
All the social media is at Mary Grace Legacy.
Right on.
Yeah.
I too am a customer. I wash my face with your facial bar every single day.
Yay.
So
Oh yeah?
yeah, twice a day actually.
So
Wow.
might be something
And
to
look
like.
at the glow. Look at the
Yeah.
glow.
and that motherfucker lasts too. I've been using the same bar since we last spoke. It's still
The products I create, I make them. They're full of love, of course, but they're
Yeah.
full of pure ingredients. I don't water down anything, so they're made to last you for a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what's dope. I think I got my girl like some kind of lotion, and it came with the 2 face bars, and I used the one, and I'm still using the one. I still got the other one. Like it's just right there. Like, all right, whenever you're ready. So
Yeah.
you might have to make them go a little faster so I can buy some more.
But no, the thing is, like, I'm really proud. I'm proud of you, but I'm proud of a lot of us that are like getting back to like natural products. Like we're realizing like the stuff that we've been using is trash.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Like,
And
it's
not
really
made for us.
It's not made for us, and so it's just like having those natural products that really like are good for our skin, our body, energy, everything.
Right.
It's like
Speaking of which, just to one thing that I looked at your website again today, and I noticed that you sell deodorant,
I do.
and
Oh my
and then I
gosh.
started to read about like your deodorant and like, can you share just some information about your deodorant as far as how it
Sure.
pertains to your competition? There's other shit that are out here that we all use or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
what makes it special?
absolutely. Well, one of the things, of course, when you go, and I'm calling the name brands, but when you go and you pick up a
No,
deodorant,
you can name some
you'll
brands.
you'll see the word antiperspirant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Or-
exactly.
aluminum.
The thing about antiperspirant is it's counterproductive. It
doesn't let you sweat.
it doesn't let you sweat, but you're supposed to.
You're supposed to
You're
sweat,
supposed to sweat.
especially women.
It-
Like
you have to release those toxins.
Yeah.
You're constantly you're walking around. Your skin is porous. It absorbs about 64% of everything you put on it, whether
Yeah.
it's the pollution in the atmosphere or what have you. You're constantly absorbing that, and you have a filtration system,
right.
and it wants to work.
Yeah, your
but
body
you're
know what to
clogging
do.
it with
Yeah.
antiperspirants because
Yeah.
what we do is we get self-conscious about sweat.
Right.
I don't want to
Mm.
sweat. Well, the thing is, and what I've learned after making natural deodorants, I use butters and oils. I use essential oils for antibacterial purposes. Coconut oil is a great antibacterial. I use zinc oxide, non-nano. So some people make deodorant, they use like baking soda.
Mhm.
It's an irritant.
Mhm.
So it'll work for a while, but then you'll start to get irritated.
Right,
Notice you're
right.
breaking out. A lot of people go away from it. Oh, natural didn't work for me. Well, I use zinc instead. It actually the molecules aren't they're too thick to be absorbed into the skin, so it just creates a nice layer
Layer.
to protect you from chafing and whatnot. So that allows your body to get back to its natural processes of being able to let go of those toxins, and the antibacterials in the deodorant will kill the bacteria that causes the odor. That's what makes you stink. It's not the sweat; it's the bacteria that's.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
all right. Listen though.
I haven't
All right,
used.
listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. I got some pretty strong armpits,
No.
and I have tried some
No.
natural deodorants,
You got.
and it lasts about 30 minutes.
Well, here's the thing, and I actually
You're
write
supposed
about
to
that.
reapply.
I wrote about that. I wrote a whole blog about it because that's normal. Your body is
Mhm.
confused. It's been clogged all this time. Your sweat glands are working overtime
Yeah.
to
Mm.
make up for the fact that it's used to being clogged. That's why.
Okay.
And this is how they get you. All right. You know who you are. This is how they get you. They put these ingredients, i.e. aluminum, in your deodorant. They clog your pores, making you sweat more because your body's making up for it. Meaning, oh, I'm sweating more. I need more. And I've created a customer. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right.
My product, and I don't know if this is good or not, but again, it allows your body to get back to its natural process of releasing those toxins, your sweat glands will calm down. You got to give it time. So I say give it about 14 days at the max. It took me 87 to get regulated. 14 days at the most. And just take it with you. And just, I sell little sample bars that will get you through the detox period because you have to if you've never used it.
So how often would you have to reapply? Like, is it like a 30-minute, an hour, or just like whenever you start sweating?
It really depends
on you.
Your body.
You smell yourself, just go ahead and put it back on.
Okay.
I put on deodorant.
Big Ray J, you may need to reapply, bro.
I put on deodorant probably like 2-3 times a day. You know what I mean? Like I put on deodorant before I go to sleep. I put on deodorant when I wake up, and sometimes I do it after work just because I'm not gonna use antiperspirant because I know how bad it is. Yeah. And antiperspirant will cover you all day, but you're not gonna sweat, and that's terrible.
And that is terrible.
Yeah, I have stopped using I have stopped using those products.
Right.
But I haven't gone back to the natural products. But I have gone away from the ones that have the aluminum in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful with that. And I will say there are men that use my deodorants that work out and that are vigorous and they have no complaints about it. I myself, I can use the deodorant maybe once, and I promise you, even through showering, I don't need it for 2-3 days before I have to use it again. Now, mind you, I don't work out either. So there's also that. But those that are more active, they have had, after getting through their detox period, have had no real issue with it. So it takes patience.
Can I put it on my balls?
You can put it wherever you want. I usually
look, they got ball powder these days. I'm asking questions. I didn't even.
I put that on the label.
She's like, oh, my pearls.
Or anywhere. I promote that, especially during the summer. Thick thighs and whatnot,
Okay.
Just a little bit of that on there.
Okay.
You can put it anywhere. It's complete. It's 100% all natural. There's nothing in there that will harm you.
I'm gonna look into it.
That way, I was just like, here. Listen, if you listen to my podcast, the content is way crazier.
You got another question?
Of course.
Couple more, then we move on.
So, I wanted to ask you, what would you say are like the top 3 adjectives that you would use to describe yourself? I'm thinking, at the very least, entrepreneur, but I don't know if that one is at the top. And then, you don't have to go too deep if it's just like I'm entrepreneur.
That's a super deep question, man. That's like on the spot.
That's what I do.
Is this a podcast?
Right. Because I want you to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you feel are the main 3 adjectives that describe you as a person?
I
mean, that's a first date question, right? Like,
I am very driven. I am compassionate, and I am. There's so many running through my head. Why would you do this?
It's okay. You could change them later.
I would say that I'm driven. I'm compassionate, and I'm sincere. Those would be my top 3.
Right on.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Those are good qualities. Very good qualities.
Thank you.
I miss my locks. I used to have locks too.
Yeah,
I used to have fake locks that I was wearing for a while.
You just rub it in my face, though. You just rub it in my face. That's all you're gonna do.
But I love it.
They were like down to here, and then Mother Nature was like, "Hey,
when did you lose them?"
I've been rocking a baldy now for like 6 years.
6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
So
go
you went
from locks to balls?
That's what wow.
That's a drastic change.
But you look good with
You do.
The baldy has done me well.
Yeah,
it has done me well. Yeah, it has worked out. It has worked out. But
my goodness. Were you at the Stevie Wonder where
it was going back?
It was going back.
Yeah, it was going back.
Okay.
It was going back.
At least you took the hit and you were like, let's just take it.
I had a friend that was like, Jay, you might want to let it go. And then I called all my women friends. I called like 4 women friends. I called my stylist. I said, hey, look, I'm thinking about cutting my dreads and just rocking a baldy. I called like 4 women. They was like, I don't care what the guys think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You trying to still,
Yeah. And so they was like, Jay, you can rock anything. You can rock a baldy. It's fine. And so I literally went to my room. I snip, and I shaved it, and I showed up at my birthday party like a few days later. No one recognized me.
What?
They was like,
who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
You did a knee along, set it off at the end.
Set it off,
or
man.
you just cut it off in the bathroom with the music playing, and you're like,
can't tell me shit.
There you go. There you go.
So as an entrepreneur,
yes,
what is the best advice that you've received? Because I would assume that you have like mentors or people that
I have people that I have conversations with.
Yeah, like for the sake of like somebody else who feels like they might want to start something, do something, because we always encourage a Black business on this podcast.
Absolutely.
What's like the best advice you receive?
The lifestyle that you want or the results that you're looking for are just on the other side of fear.
Right on.
You will literally talk yourself out of doing anything. You have to really. You have to. There's faith. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Right
faith is literally walking through that door, not knowing what's on the other side of it, but believing enough in your vision to just say, I'm going to do it. And I'd have no idea how this is going to play out.
Right.
I just know what I want at the end of this road.
Right on.
I will say
thank you.
Another thing would be not to be too heavy on yourself in regards to expectation, to allow the journey to really be the journey. And to kind of pace yourself and just enjoy the ride. I think that we jump into things and we expect it to pop off right away, or you expect, feedback to be a certain thing, or you expect, and when that doesn't happen, a lot of people quit. Oh man, it's been almost 2 years for me, and I can say I'm just now starting to see some type of consistency. Oh my God. But being reminded that, it's a marathon. It's not, a sprint. Yeah. You'll get there. And as long as you believe in what you're doing, and you have to believe in what you're doing, as long as you believe in what you're doing, then it's worth it.
That's also a very good point to make too, is whatever it is you want to do, you gotta
believe in it. Absolutely. That passion drive you. Profit is great, but that shouldn't be the driving force, in my opinion, because it's gonna come either way.
Yeah.
However, your love for it is what keeps that train moving towards your profit.
Now I know like that this is just speaking for people who are afraid. Like, what about the finances? Like, what do you do? How do you say, how am I going to pay my bills? Like, what do you?
Well, you're talking to a chick that got no help. This comes out of my pocket. I'm newly divorced, single mom of 3. I've been nickel and diming this from the beginning.
Yeah.
What I did was I slowly paced myself. I bought what I could. I invested more money in the ingredients than the actual like the packaging and stuff. I do everything myself. Website, social media, the flyers, labels,
so you
everything.
So
it's time consuming.
I think that's the other part of it.
And I could afford to do it myself.
I think that's the other part of it, is do the motherfucking work.
You gotta work yourself.
You know how they always say, do the work?
Yeah.
Glued. I take breaks from work to take care of my kids. I'm constantly working. I'm never off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because I want it. And I know that I'll get to a space where I'll be able to hire people. Right? I'll get to a space where I can, get some people on board, and I can, order my labels and things like that. But until then, this is what it looks like. And I can honestly say, as scary as it's been, it's starting to pay off.
Yeah.
So, I'll get there.
Wow. Congrats on that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is my last question. It's a quick one. This is a call back to a part of our last conversation. Have you finally had a chance to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Not yet.
Not yet.
You like Red Hot?
I like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Like a real group?
Yeah, she said. She said, yeah, that's on her bucket list.
Have they come to Tampa?
Not yet.
So.
I don't know if they're performing right now.
Atlanta, they were. Last year they did overseas, and this year they're supposed to be over here, but they're not coming to Florida.
So you like them?
I love them.
Love them. You haven't seen them?
I haven't seen them live. The last time I was supposed to go see them live, I was pregnant. And I ended up giving birth to my daughter 3 months early, so I couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, they were here that same weekend.
Well, it's not too late. Especially if they're still touring, girl.
Yeah, they're still going strong.
Okay.
So
That'll be good. Sorry, have me in.
So really quick, what's the website?
The website, www.marygracelegacy.com.
So,
all social media.
Welcome to the Just. I don't want that one. That's the wrong one.
Oh.
And at Mary Grace Legacy on Instagram
and
Facebook.
All right, man. We are going to finally move into the main topic.
I know, right?
But no, it's actually been a really great conversation. So I've actually enjoyed the conversation so far. So the main topic tonight for the message is single until you're married. So
she heard that and she was like, "Ooh, Lord."
Let me tell y'all how this topic came to my mind. Because I texted Remy when I got back from Miami. I was like, hey, I think this would be a good topic for a podcast. So I was in Miami having a good time. And there was a young lady there who was engaged to be married. All right. She's good people. I don't have anything bad to say about her. However, she was there fucking, having a good old time, living her best life.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And her thing was, she said,
engaged.
she's engaged. She said, cheers to being single until you're married. I was like, damn. That's kind of fucked up.
I wish like to hell. Okay.
Right?
All right.
I was like, but I wasn't going to, I try my best not to judge people. I have my own thoughts about it. And I partook in having a good time. All right. Okay. So I came back home and I was like, yo, this is not the first time. I've heard this term a lot on social media, but it was my first time actually hearing it from a woman in person.
Well, that was going to be something that I said. I mean, that sounds like what guys would do, which there's no like, hey, but yeah, that sounds more like a guy thing. So
what are your thoughts on that term when you hear
single until married?
Single till married.
My question is it an open relationship? Is her partner aware?
So the partner did not know she was there for the weekend. Okay. And he is not part of the lifestyle.
Okay, so that's the nudist lifestyle.
I would say nudist lifestyle, and I would caveat that by saying open relationship lifestyle.
So is he aware of her proclivities? Is he aware that she's open? Are they both open? Like that's something.
He is not about that life at all.
And
she has tried to get him to be a part of it.
If he's aware of it, then why say single till married? Then y'all are fine because nothing's going to change once you're married if that's your lifestyle.
Right. If you guys are both open and you agree to that, then that's one thing.
She was living her best life. He was not aware that she was there. So, but that's not the first woman I've said that. I've heard accept that.
Yeah.
So when I hear that term, single till you're married, what is your first thoughts about that philosophy of life?
Well, I mean, I've heard the same term as well. I know someone who said the same thing. Like, I was like, oh, congratulations, you're engaged. And they're like, I'm single until I'm married. I'm like, what? What about the engagement? So, I think there are some people that feel that type of way, but, it depends on your definition of single.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your friend's definition of single until married is I'm single. I can still
do whatever the fuck I want.
Right, apparently. Right. Whereas I guess some people may just feel like maybe I could still find somebody else and a soulmate or something, or I can still date or talk to other people until you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's where it's like, there's a difference with that. I mean, what do you guys?
When I hear I'm single until I'm married, I mean, there's a lot of different angles you could come at with that. I don't think there's any, like right or wrong answer. In that case.
Yeah, and we don't have to limit it just to that experience. We can talk about it from an overall global experience. That's just the experience that brought it to my forefront.
She was using that as an excuse to be loose.
Mm.
However, I mean that doesn't make any sense. That's counterproductive to what you're working towards.
Yeah.
Not to play devil's advocate, but there are people who are open and they have open relationships.
Of course,
so
but
it's
that
like
doesn't mean single till married.
Right.
We're just open.
Right. And she's in a partially open relationship where she can
you open, but he's
not.
He's
it seems
to
like
you.
And they asked you to be his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you're gonna stay open until you say I do? What changes?
Exactly. That was gonna be my next thing. Like I don't think
someone that's been married, not that doesn't shift your mindset. You're married, but now we locked in, but what you were doing beforehand, you're gonna continue to do.
Right. Especially if she's a part of the open lifestyle. Like that's her. Yeah. She needs to find somebody that matches her. Because that's who she is. She's a free spirit, and so she needs another free spirited person. So, I mean, her definition. I don't think it's.
There's no wrong answer here, but I want you to be honest. You don't have to sugarcoat anything.
No. I'm just saying, like, her definition of single until married is not necessarily single until married because she's open until marriage, but then I feel like she still wants to be an open person. So, are you going to get married and then trap that part of yourself?
The thing about me is this: if I'm it's already hard to get my attention. So if you have my attention and I am actually dating you, seeing you, you are the person where my energy goes.
Yeah.
You're the person I'm paying attention to. As far as being single, if we are exclusively seeing each other, we're committed and we're in a relationship and we're building a life, or we're living life together, what have you, I'm not having sex with other people.
Mhm.
Are you? How does your affection work that way, where you can still go home and look this person in the eyes and say, I'm committed to what we're building? That makes no sense for me, only because I just believe in energy exchanges.
Yeah.
And I don't see how that could work out.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of like, I know people, I'm not one of them, but I can understand the perspective of like, actively dating multiple people.
Mhm.
That's your business if that's the way you should go about the process.
I date multiple people.
And that there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm just saying, like, so if that's the case and you're like, well, I'm single until, well, that's whatever, then maybe you're saying I'm going to date multiple people until somebody proposes to me.
Yeah, but let's not go there yet. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I want to see Remy's perspective.
Yeah, Remy's like
when you hear single until I'm married, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I am a fiance.
He is a fiance. He is engaged.
As a fiance,
there you go.
If I find out that my girl is in Miami, doing whatever she thinks she gonna be doing.
Let's start with in Miami. Period.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How the fuck you get to Miami?
What?
For the weekend?
What? Miami? That's a Drake song. Isn't that a Drake song?
It is.
Miami and for the weekend. Yeah, no, let's not do that.
So,
how does the trust start? Like, are you saying I can't? I'm not trustworthy until you marry me? I'm not to be trusted until I say I do.
I'll play a little bit of a devil's advocate. I get that to a degree because not that I get it. I understand why someone would do it because some people feel like if you're going to commit to me, then just fucking do it. Like her, if she does want to be married, if she's a person who wants to be married.
We're talking about the person in the story.
Yeah, or just anybody who feels like they want to be married, but they're like, but until that happens, I'm just gonna do whatever I want because I don't take nobody serious. And if you're really serious about me, then we're just gonna fucking get married. Maybe she already is ready to be married and he's like pussyfooting or whatever for one reason or another. So she's like, all right, well, until you put a ring on it.
Well, no, but he has put a ring on it.
One ring's not the right. Obviously, that ring don't lock it down. This ring is flimsy.
But it should, though. It should.
We're wedding planning mode right now.
Right. We're signifying that we've taken it to another level.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a slippery slope. I think you're testing your relationship in a way that doesn't need to be tested when you dabble in such things.
And what is the end game? Like what happens? So are you saying that I'm single until so I'm engaged?
It's instant gratification.
But if I meet this person in Miami while I'm freaking, and he marries me tomorrow, do I just shoo away with the relationship that I've been building for the past 3 years? Because he married me, so I'm good now. I ain't single no more.
Right. And I think that's the issue.
So in her case, this is probably what's gonna happen. She's in Miami. She's doing whatever she wants to do, and then she's gonna go back home, and he's
never gonna know shit about it.
And they're gonna be together, and as long as she can maintain that, if that's what she really wants, then whatever happened in Miami happened in Miami.
Fair enough.
A lot happened in Miami.
Married. That's just cheating.
That's technically just cheating.
So yeah. So when I hear
in your mind, you justify by single.
So when I hear single, so I'm married, and I don't hear men saying this, and I'm gonna ask a question later on about this, but I've only heard it from women. I'm single. Single till you're married.
Don't talk about stuff like that.
That doesn't mean they're not doing it. Doesn't mean they're not doing it. Yeah. But they don't talk.
Y'all say that.
Right.
But when I hear that term, I just want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Yeah. I want to cheat. I want to have sex with other people until we are official. And that's a problem for me. For me, that's a problem.
I mean, I think the sex with other people is probably on the extreme level of it. I feel like some women do want to keep their options open because they don't know. Maybe they're not sure on how like serious that person is. With being with them because guys change their mind all the time.
So let's dig into that a little bit because you mentioned earlier that you have commitment issues.
Yeah, I'm working on them. Yeah, go ahead.
So you're not about the single until married life, though?
No, I'm not. So that's one thing. Like, if I'm single, I'm single. But I like you said the word exclusive. That's where I feel like if I'm in a relationship, then there's an agreement that we are just it's you and me. And that's it. And that sets certain boundaries where I expect you to respect me outside of my sight, or when we're together.
Yeah.
Because you've made a level of made a level of commitment to each other. Even though we're not married, we are exclusive. And then if we get engaged, it's like, okay, we're locking this in long term. We're solidifying, right? And then when we go in, I want to have that same agreement of, okay, and that's the thing. That's also a conversation. Like, all right, what does your vision of commitment look like? How does that look? You know what I'm saying? So, like with your friend, maybe that's something that she really needs, an open relationship. And that's okay. Like, some people are just like, hey, you know what? I'm open. Are you open? And I think there's a level of honesty that you have to have with yourself where you're like, all right, this is who I am. This is how I'm coming to the table. And I need someone that's going to accept me and understand me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be okay with it. Whether they're a part of the lifestyle or not, most of the time they will, because then they'll understand a little bit better. Yeah. But it's like, this is who I am. This, accept me or not. And she's putting on a facade. Like,
yeah, I think the beauty of the time that we live in today,
today
is the fact that we are very open to different types of lifestyles.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Monogamy is not for everyone. I think it's great that we finally acknowledge that, right? But I do think that people who say that philosophy, single till you're married,
that's not the same as polygamy either.
It's not the same as polygamy.
Right.
And I just think people need to get with people who are also part of that lifestyle. People who are not part of that lifestyle, why are you trying to force yourself into something that is not going to work? Because clearly, if you are enjoying this lifestyle,
right,
how do you just turn it off?
Well, I think
I think it's okay as long as you don't have communication problems.
Wait, what's okay? The whole
being
open,
just choosing or open relationship, polygamy, whatever it is you choose.
As long as everyone's on the same page.
As long as you don't have communication. Yes, as long as you talk to your partner and they know what the fuck is going on.
Waiting on you to get home while you home, and that's different.
So that's kind of how I look at it. Is I feel like she very likely has commitment or communication problems. But I would also think that he probably has communication problems, because he may not necessarily be making it clear, like, why,
or maybe he doesn't know. It doesn't sound like
he doesn't know. She said,
I mean, he knows she's a part of the open,
she said that she has broached the topic, but he's not interested in it.
Oh, this is the passive aggressive thing. I think that's the theme of the night.
So he's not interested in being open.
So do y'all think this comes from a place, when you hear this philosophy, do you think it comes from a place of, I need to protect my heart until he or she proposes?
I do. I feel like it's an excuse. I said that on the post that you put up.
I'm trying to find your comment.
Yeah, I think it's an escape of accountability. I think that it's a way to try to convince yourself that, I'm not going to show any type of real commitment towards somebody until I'm sure that they're worth the effort, or they're worth my heart, they're worth my vulnerability, when that's just not how connecting with people work. You can't dance the line, of commitment and vulnerability and say, well, I'll jump when we get married, because you'll never know what you're getting into. You don't know who you're marrying until you dive deeper into who you actually are.
Yeah.
And not saying you can't do that with multiple people. That would be draining for me, but there are those that actually are, polygamy and they want to dive into multiple people, and that should be
polygamy or polyamorous, because two different things.
Polyamorous, multiple is the point that I'm making. So there are some people that are interested in diving into the vulnerability of multiple people, and that's their business. I'm saying, for me, I'd rather do one at a time. And in order for you to even get to a space where you know the person that you're saying I do forever to, I feel like people are using marriage as a doorway to a deeper relationship where you should already be there before you say I do.
I think, to me, just going back to the example, this is the person who wants this lifestyle, but she also wants this man.
I
And
think
she
she's
can't
using
necessarily
that as an excuse to
reconcile.
be loose.
You can't reconcile it, of course, because
Listen,
she's choosing
hold
to
on.
have both.
Listen, I'm in this
She's
whole.
choosing
It's
both,
not
but you
being
can't really-
loose.
No,
It's
that's what I'm
being
saying.
free.
And I was gonna say, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm very like with the culture, and I don't.
I am
like,
all
I
about
don't wanna-
sexual
Yeah,
empowerment.
right. Like I don't want
I'm
to
not
kink
mad.
shame
Well, I
and
only
like.
Yeah.
say that because you're trying to convince somebody that
Right.
you're not something that you
Yeah,
are.
I
That's
agree
why
with
I
that,
use the word
yes.
that I'm using.
Yes.
Because it's different if
Only
you're
because
upfront
it's-
about it
yeah,
and you're
because
saying,
there's
"Hey,
no
this is what I
communication.
am,
It's a little
and this
shady.
is what's going on." Then do that, but don't have him thinking
That
I'm
you're-
all about you. But then you over here telling them, "Oh, well, I do what I want. I'm free. I'm open." Well, you're lying. You're
Yeah.
deceitful,
You're lying.
and you're manipulating this man into marrying you. Why are you doing that if you know that at the end of the day, let me calm down. At the end of the day, you are who you are. You like what you like. You're into what you're into. That light switch is not going to switch off just because you said I do. If
Well,
you
that
don't
was-
respect him and what he likes now,
Yeah.
it's not going to change. You're going to
Yeah.
feel more trapped because
Yeah.
now it's legal.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I was.
that paperwork happened and stuff gets
I-
like, oh snap, I'm
that-
stuck.
That was what I was gonna say. Like a lot of people
Been there.
feel like there's a light switch where when you get married,
You can just turn
you
it
turn
off.
into a different person.
Mhm.
And the thing is, you walk into that marriage the same person that you were,
Mhm.
and you still have to do the work or
Yeah.
change.
100%.
You're the
Yeah.
same
100%.
person after the wedding day and all that. And listen, I haven't been married, but I've
No,
been,
you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And in my experience, not only that, but like all of the things that you were doing to try to convince this person to stay with you because you want them to want to stay. At this point, it's a want to. Once you're married, you have to. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of that effort, and not saying it always dies, but it just kind of dials down a bit. You can be a little bit more comfortable. We're married now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the things that irked you before, the things that, it kind of highlights a little bit because it's like, now I'm stuck here.
Wait, how long were you married for?
We were together for 6 years, married for 2. So we were together for
Okay.
8 years total.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. With that being said, it's not what I've learned is that, being with somebody and saying, oh, it's going to be like this once we get married. That's not what you're dating, what you're doing, what you're committed to is what you can expect. So you can almost expect
that same person, and it's going to irk you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, if she's going to Miami and having fun trips with her friends and doing her thing, she's not going to stop doing that just because she got married. If you can't sit down now, you're not going to sit down later.
I think
not want to.
I think the difference,
Or not, and you're not going to want to. You're going to feel
Yeah.
trapped. Now I'm married. Now I'm stuck. Now I can't.
I think the
go. This
difference
ain't an option
for
no
me
more.
is that there's one thing to be about a different lifestyle, but if you can't tell your partner that you are going to a certain type of event,
Yeah,
then you are essentially cheating.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
If
Like,
you don't feel comfortable at a point to say like this is,
yeah,
then you're already starting that foundation of lying, and,
Right.
and that could lead to whatever, cheating.
I'm pretty
or
sure
whatever,
if he
and now
found
you
out
don't
that she was doing
communicate.
what she was doing this past weekend,
He
or
knew-
any
she knew
woman
that he
out
wouldn't
there,
have
or any man out there, they would be like, "No, fuck that! Like you
And I
cheating
feel like
on
the only
me."
reason
So-
you wouldn't be honest about it is because you know he wouldn't be cool.
That's
with
what I
it.
was
Yeah,
gonna say. You're not
exactly.
honest because like you are doing something that's wrong.
It's having your cake and eating it too.
Right.
Like,
Because there's some people you could tell them, hey, babe, I'm going to Miami, but you guys have that level of trust and communication where it's like,
Okay.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
all right, I trust you. We have that foundation.
Mhm.
So I don't have to question who you're going to be, who we are, what we have.
Yeah.
Come back, you're good.
Mhm.
But it's like, if you don't have that foundation, then
The
Right.
foundation
And
is
then
couples
important.
that are open to say, hey, she's going to go do her thing, I go do mine, as long as what we do don't jeopardize what we have. I don't really
Listen,
care. I don't want to hear about it. Just
There
go
were
do you
there
and
were
I'll see you
there were
later.
two
on
women
the same
there,
page, and
two
it's-
women there who were in open relationships. One woman only dated other women, and her husband was aware that she
Yeah.
had girlfriends
that's okay.
and
That's
everything,
what I'm saying.
right?
I can respect
And
that.
there was another woman there who was in her late, I think she was 60, and had her young thing with her there, and they had a good time.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Like, it's like once you get honest with yourself, like,
yes,
you
and
can live your life and you
As
can
free
find
as you want
somebody
to.
who,
Yeah, 'cause
who's
they're
gonna
out
accept
there.
you.
they're out
They're
there.
out there.
I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I am a monogamous type of guy, but I understand that relationships can become mundane, right? I'm not against evolving the relationship, but I think you have to have a very solid foundation
Right.
about it
To get to that
point.
I mean, I agree. Like, it's just like, even like when you want to be open in a relationship, that communication factor still has to be there. Like, I listen to a lot of other podcasts, and like, I listened to a podcaster, and she's like, even in being open, you guys have to still talk and say, you know, you might go to a sex club or something, and then it's like, you know, that bothered me. I really didn't like that. And then it's just like, but you guys are on the same page.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, now like I can be myself.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have to hide a part of yourself, you're always going to be uncomfortable in whatever relationship you're in, because you're going to essentially be cheating on yourself because you're not really being who you are. So
what were you going to say, Mary? You going to say something?
I was going to say anything.
You were thinking about it. So do y'all think we're living in a more faithful time or less faithful time than generations before us? Because obviously we all, I think at this table, I'm not sure what the method heads agree feel, but at this table, I think we all agree that philosophy is of a form of cheating, right? So do y'all feel like we're living in a more faithful time or a less faithful time than
back in the day?
Ooh. Go ahead. It's hard to say. I think only because, you know, being raised by my grandparents and looking at, you know, a different generation of doing things. My grandparents, I can honestly say, my dad they were very committed to each other. It was a beautiful thing. However, I've seen other households where, you know, you got uncles and aunties that weren't necessarily born from your grandmama. You know, it's just a lot going on. So I don't know if it's more faithful, but they were a lot more committed to the house, the family, the house.
That's true. More committed, probably not as faithful though.
Right. I think that in this time we've like you said before, just created spaces for us to safely think outside of our boxes and say, okay, you know what, one person isn't it. I can be honest about that versus trying to hide it. I think that takes a level of security in self, though, and that's what we're working towards.
Yeah, I think we have that luxury to be like, listen,
it's out there.
I can't be with one person.
Yeah, we've definitely created a space. It's because it becomes a personal journey for you. How comfortable are you in yourself to say, this is what I want, instead of, you know, it's almost like feeling, you know, being shamed out. Am I going to be embarrassed to say that I want more than one person? Am I going to be embarrassed? You know what I mean?
Traditions.
We're breaking those traditions.
Absolutely. And I think that's important. I mean, I think that makes it safer, and that's better than all this hiding in line. And
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think it's more beneficial for women to have an open relationship than it is for men. Because men can get their nuts whenever with one person. But stats and history shows
you ain't lying
that women
there is an orgasm gap.
There's an orgasm gap.
That's
no,
there's
a whole study about it. Seriously.
There's an orgasm gap. Right? And so
I get the numbers.
I ain't never in my life had a fake orgasm. Never. I know plenty of women who have had to fake orgasms. Right? So it is more beneficial for a woman to have somebody who is emotionally deeper intimacy, but have a man that can give her multiple orgasms.
Well, I mean, so the only reason why I was looking like you crazy because it's like we've all heard about the guys who have like multiple families, and back in the day they would have like a family down the street. It's like I have my wife at home and I have another family down the street, and as long as both are okay, then I'm good. And the woman was at home taking care of her kids and then taking care of the house.
Miserable.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you're saying, like women have more freedom, and I think that's more of a new thing. Like it's very new where we, you know what I'm saying? Because men could do their thing.
Women liking sex has always been a taboo situation.
Right? Like
we're not supposed to be horny. We're not supposed to be
100%. So I'm saying back in the day, no, but I'm saying it would be more beneficial for us now for women to say, look,
to embrace that.
Like I love you. We have a great connection, and we have good sex, but
you ain't hitting it like
you ain't hitting it. You know what I mean?
All right. Devil's advocate, and then I want to toss it to Remy because I'm like, Remy's over here making.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of toys out there now. They don't make a lot of different ones.
I'm not against toys.
Toys probably save relationships.
That part.
I mean, I don't think. I think everybody would benefit more to being a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like marriage is this kind of a antiquated thing that we haven't really reformed or looked at again.
Right. We need to.
The original necessity
revolve it.
Revisit. The original necessity of marriage was just, for the sake of
financial gain. Expanding your wealth.
Yeah. So like
that's what it was.
I've said this on the podcast before. I feel like marriage should just be like a 10-year contract.
And oh my God, I said that too.
You said that?
I think that was
definitely an Aries thing. It is an Aries thing. What's your sign, Brittany?
I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer. I'm an Aquarius. I'm Aquarius. How the fuck both of y'all say 10 years?
But I love y'all.
And that goes to, when we talk about having multiple, like I respect the idea of it, but for me, emotional, intimate, and physical, they go hand in hand. Like there's not one without the other, which is why I only have sex with one person at a time. If you hitting this, you only one.
So I'm with you. I'm with you there.
I agree.
I am very much a committed person. Right. Like I have issues with the idea of marriage, but I'm also all about being with one person.
Right.
Like even when I date, I really don't even date multiple people because I feel like that can be a bit of a slippery slope.
Right.
I do think that we put too much on our spouse by expecting them to be everything to us. I think friends are important.
Hell yeah.
I think having a circle of people, a village of people is important because they can't be everything.
Can't be everything.
You know what I mean? So as far as expanding the circle, opening things up, sure. But as far as my emotional security and my vulnerability and my marital bed, that's going to my man and the person that I've dedicated myself to, because I want to be able to show out, and I can't show out with everybody. I want to show out with the man I'm comfortable with.
Oh, you can't show out? You can't show out?
No, with the man I'm comfortable with.
But also, it's just like him understanding that
earn all of this.
Right. Like it's a privilege. That's what
you got to earn that.
That's a privilege, right?
Yeah.
So one person privilege.
I don't do these tricks for everybody. Just so you know.
I don't lick your balls for just anybody.
Listen, oh God, no,
She
absolutely
said,
not.
It's all right. His balls is powdered. It's fine.
I got the Marion Grace deodorant on my balls.
Good over here.
Lick them shits. Lick the shit. Lick it. So I had a friend who said men have been doing this forever. So what's different when women do it? So essentially what she's saying is Daphne said it. So
it's not okay that men been doing it. That's
Right.
why
it's not okay, but men have been doing it. Basically, men have been saying, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want until I'm married. Women are just verbally saying it. Or the new age women are saying it.
Well, they're saying it to somebody.
Saying it to somebody.
They're saying it to everybody.
Yeah.
So
I need to know in the time.
The other thing that
No.
is that true that men it's the same thing. It's just
all right. So
women are
going back
saying
to the movies. In the Best Man Holiday, when they had the bachelorette party, the first one, y'all have to be of age.
I know that.
Did he sleep with the stripper or no?
They was doing whatever they wanted with
The stripper,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm
The
saying.
one dude got his.
That's actually one of my questions too.
Right.
His wife wouldn't suck. Well, he was about to. I don't know if he did it, but
yeah,
he was
but
definitely
that's
going
what I'm saying.
to.
So that was like an innuendo to like what kind of happens with men bachelorette parties, where it's like, you know what, it's your last night. Go ahead. Even Players Club, which is not a good example, but I'm just saying, like it's like you know what I'm saying, like hey, listen, you about to get married.
Last night.
It's your last.
That was
night.
I actually had that question on here
Listen,
too.
we on there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got that question.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like for guys, it's always been like that. Like, all right before I get married, let me get my last
one,
and then I'm gonna commit.
Is that acceptable though?
It's not. It shouldn't be, but it's the same thing. Like your friend was saying, like he's never gonna know. But at the same time, if you're walking into a marriage where you're not fully committed, or you still have these urges to be with other people, and you haven't committed to that person, listen, marriage is a ring and some paperwork. So if you still in your heart and mind,
I disagree.
Like you don't feel hurt by having sex with another person.
You're not. It's not going to change because you signed the form.
It's not going to change.
I promise you, it won't.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be so connected with my partner that it would hurt him.
Yeah, to do that.
Me. You know what I mean?
To just know that you could. The fact that you're jeopardizing what we have. That don't
like that don't bother you that you want to with my commitment.
But don't women do that at bachelorette parties?
No, we do not.
Well, I done seen some videos.
I
done seen some videos.
She also got divorced the
she giving some head at her bachelorette
Wait,
party.
which
I'm
one?
like,
What video? I'm old school. I don't watch. Okay.
Several years ago.
yeah, like,
That was getting married, and we went to her bachelorette party, and we had strippers, and they was fine, and she showed out, and it was like, sweetie, you made okay, I hear you, and then your man looked up on that video, and you got divorced immediately, and we had the almost a domestic violence situation. He was hot because he didn't. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was then. We married now. No, I trusted you.
Yeah.
I trusted you as my wife, which is why I proposed to you in the first place.
Let me just say this.
I think strippers is a problem.
Let me just say this.
Don't have strippers in your bachelor party.
Let me just say this. She fucked up by having somebody at her bachelor party taking videos of whatever the fuck.
Oh, so the videos was the problem?
Don't do that. Ain't no videos of men's bachelor parties.
The video was the problem.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Should be no videos or whatever. Who the fuck?
She needs to be fired.
There should be no phone allowed.
No evidence.
No phone.
No
I agree. No phone.
She played that wrong.
No phones. No evidence.
You can also avoid all of this by just not doing it in the first place.
Of course, but if you're gonna do it, no phones at
No
the bachelor party.
No phones.
Confiscating phones at the door. Everybody give me their phone. I want all your phones.
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna be able to enjoy myself. I'm gonna be looking around.
Right, see what's going on.
When the city's in my face. Oh, you got a phone?
Are there lights lighting up?
Stranger. This is a strange person. You don't know this man from.
Honestly, if I'm her man,
places.
if I'm her man, I'm like, who the fuck had a phone at the bachelorette party? I'm gonna be mad at that first.
Hold on.
And then I'm like, and why you sucking dick at the bachelorette?
So that was the point I was gonna get to.
Yeah.
Second, what you doing?
Yeah.
No. I was listening to something recently, and they were like, sucking dick and kissing are very intimate things.
Absolutely.
Like sex, even though sex is really bad,
Right.
it's just like seeing your girl suck another nigga's dick.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't want to see
you
that.
know what I'm saying? Like that's like,
especially when we're not knowing about it.
And the thing about getting that is that I'm getting nothing out. There's no pleasure for me outside of the fact of knowing that I'm pleasuring you.
Right.
You did what now?
It's another level of disrespect.
Yeah.
You know, you sucking a nut. And you do me for me, right? Like that's the move you do on me, So
I gave this man the car.
Especially to find out through a video, like
a video of it
the
in
difference
front
between telling me,
right,
baby, I was having a good time, I got drunk. Like
I'm just saying, look, look, bachelor party, bachelorette party. I want to hear about this night. Have fun, do you? We ain't speaking of.
See, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it.
Why we got videos? I ain't want to.
Yeah, I don't want no video.
You need new friends.
Yeah, I don't want no video.
Are you saying that? Because again, I'm back to the level of like I thought like once you make that commitment, you're at the point where
you are.
We're not.
That's communication, though. If we just made an agreement, then that's our agreement.
Yeah.
That we're not, or we are.
Either or.
Okay. Like your bachelor party is a free for all. This is
as long as you
agree. It should be communicated.
As long as you agree with your partner. That's what we're doing.
I'm gonna be in Mexico Bay. Don't worry. Don't ask me no questions.
Think about it. Unless that conversation's happening, I expected to be on your resume.
Here's my thing.
And I expect you to be on your
no phones.
No
evidence.
That's a conversation that I don't think anybody has though. Nobody's like, so what I'm allowed to do.
Don't fuck friends.
Don't fuck friends.
I don't want to see who you fuck.
Don't fuck friends at the Christmas party. At the party. Yeah, don't fuck friends.
At Christmas, I don't.
When I'm looking at y'all, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then that's another rule. What's the other one?
I'm a pretty open guy. Like first of all, I believe in sexual empowerment for women in general because I feel like women's sexuality has been suppressed. Right. All through life, whatever. But I do want, obviously, a level of commitment with my woman. But I'm pretty open in general. But on a bachelorette party, look, I don't want to know shit.
So how open are you, like in your relationship? I'm sorry, I'm
no, it's fine.
Hold on. I'm like, I could see Jay having like a fucking
I would do polyamorous
/ bachelorette.
I would do a polyamorous,
and they both be there just doing whatever the fuck they want,
which is fine, right? Okay, Look,
I can see that for Jay.
right.
Jay, like,
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
would.
We
I
both
would.
get it.
Exactly.
You in that room, I'm in that room. Let's do this.
Okay. Well, there
I
you
I
go.
catch you in the
Look,
middle. All right, let's do this.
right.
I would, because at the end of the day,
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I love my woman,
Of course.
and I'm single, by the way.
You
So-
was like, but I'm looking.
Theoretically.
Side of the
Jay
DM.
look at the
Yeah.
camera every episode. I'm single. Just
I'm
so you
single.
know. Jay's single.
You gotta put that in there.
But hypothetically speaking, I would like look. Let's just have fun. But when we commit, after this day,
We've
It's-
given each other a pass.
it's
for
you
the
and
day.
I.
But
Yeah.
you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like I get it. Like it's like you're looking for a strong foundation where
Mhm.
listen, we're both just having fun, but at the end of the day, we're committed to each other and we have that level of communication
Yeah.
and connection where our
Communication, I
relationship
think,
is
is the
still
base.
solid.
It's
Yeah.
still solid.
Even though-
Yep. I was just telling
Right.
a young lady I was dating the other day. I was like, look, I said, I am open to the idea of us randomly on vacation having fun and doing different things. Doesn't mean it got now. A lot of guys say it's a double standard, right? Because a lot of guys say, "Oh, I'm open to it, but it got to be another woman."
Right.
I'm not like that. I'm
Oh,
like,
you're
look,
open to having your
I got to be involved though.
yeah, right. You gotta be there. You gotta watch it. You gotta be
Not watching.
You ain't gotta be involved.
I got to be involved.
okay.
I ain't gonna sit in the corner and watch my woman get fucked by another man. I ain't doing that shit.
You want to be a part of the process,
A
which is
threesome.
fine.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
every now and then. I'm okay with that because sex is a beautiful thing. Like I don't.
Right.
At the end of the day, I know you come home with me,
Right.
and we have a solid foundation.
Right. You
Right.
guys had fun.
We have
and it was-
fun.
And the communication.
But it
all
can't
on
be
the
an over.
same
It can't be an
page.
everyday thing or every week thing.
Mm.
Right, but
I'm not doing
I
that.
get it because you were saying earlier, like how you were thinking about marriage, and you know, like the thought of the old standard of marriage is like
Mhm.
it's It's like not
Monogamy.
not
Yeah.
monogamy, but just like it gets boring. Over
Mundane.
Mundane.
Yes.
That's the other word.
Yes.
Thank you. It just slipped my
Mhm.
mind. Mundane. It was an M.
Yep.
It gets mundane.
Yep.
Where like every day is the same, and
Mhm.
people get bored, and so you're like, I want to have that level of entertainment or like excitement where we can do things, and then we come back to
You
us.
come back to us,
You know what I mean? So
and it's
like,
not one sided.
right,
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 right.
and that's
That's
really
the key.
that's a
Fair.
big
Because
thing.
men
a
want to
lot
do
of
their own
guys-
shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
But
That's
Men
a,
want to go
imagine.
fuck somebody, but they don't want to see the woman
Imagine.
fucking somebody else.
Yeah,
That's a
somebody
big
else
thing.
taking your lady down.
right.
Yeah.
Or no. Like I mean, just you guys both.
Together,
I don't
yeah.
know if you
Together.
watched this show. I haven't gotten through it. 'cause
I love you.
Okay, it's not me. The show.
I love you
Love
too,
you too.
Sam.
I was like, hold on. You know, I got commitment issues.
Like, sir, 6 feet,
Sorry.
COVID,
Sir.
6 feet. Where your mask at? Where your mask? Where you take
I
my
ain't seen you in 2 years. You don't love me, nigga.
I said, hold on. You know,
That's funny.
no, the show. But the third season has been a little rocky for me because it's just different. But they did try to have spoiler alert, but you should have watched it by now because it's been out on YouTube. for a while.
100%.
They tried to have like a threesome with this couple, and it just
Yeah.
Oh,
didn't.
that shit was goofy.
You
Yeah,
saw it, yeah. It was
good.
so crazy. But you know, they were trying to spice up the relationship, and
mhm.
it was just like it didn't work out. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of couples try to do something to like keep it alive. So it's
Right.
understandable, but it
Yeah.
has to be open communication.
We got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
At the end of the
At
day.
the end
You
of the
can't
day.
be doing something that I don't know nothing about.
Or I don't agree
Mhm.
with,
We're
or I'm not
supposed to be
comfortable.
moving as one. That's the whole point.
Yeah. It's a
right?
unit.
We're
Right.
supposed to be moving as, like you said, as a unit. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be solid. And if
Yeah.
you're doing things that I don't know about,
Yeah.
then what are we doing?
So if one person is saying single until marriage, I feel like it's just an excuse.
Yeah,
'Cause you're not
100%.
you're
committed
not being a team player. and
You're
it's
not a
supposed to be
team player.
100%.
You're in a team, and you're like, I'm not on a team. You know what I mean?
I'm
Yeah.
doing me. You're
Right.
on the team, and I'm over
So we don't have that
until we lock in,
agreement.
and then we'll revisit.
But you
the
can't
team.
do that.
Mhm.
You
I
can't
mean, I
do
be
that.
feeling that then either.
Like if
Right.
I sign an agreement, if I sign football contract,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but I'm still single. No, until
That's
I play a
not how this
game.
works.
No,
Mhm.
that's not how it works.
Like,
Until my
you
first
sign for the
game.
Bucks, but you go off and play for the Falcons. For
Exactly.
The weekend.
Like, right, you know
What
what
are
I'm
you
saying?
doing over there?
Why you practicing with the other team?
No,
Other team, like, what's going on?
What I thought we were, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. So it's like
Yeah.
if you're committed, especially fiance, like you can't be practicing with other teams.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
counterproductive to what we're
Exactly,
moving towards. I thought we
towards-
were getting married.
Do y'all think we are? So when it comes to dating, right? is there a certain level of expectation when it comes to being exclusive, right? It's like, do we move too fast? Like, how loyal are you in dating? Like, at what point do you decide, okay, I ain't gonna talk to nobody else. I ain't gonna fuck nobody else. I ain't gonna let nobody else eat my pussy. Like, at what point do you say, right?
No,
I love the facial expressions.
That's real talk though. That's like grown shit.
No, but for real, serious. I'm being silly. I will say, for me, I guess it's a little bit different. So when I consider like dating, I just like, I'm cool with hanging out with people. I'm cool with going out one-on-one. I'm cool
you
on
teasing?
Like, doing things.
Oh, you teasing? Huh?
No, I'm just cool with like hanging out. But when it comes to like sex, if I decide to have sex with you, you're the only person I'm having sex with, which means ain't nobody else reaching me on a romantic level right now. I guess it takes me that much to get there, but I'm not fucking everybody that I'm hanging out with. I fuck with you.
Yeah.
And now that I fuck with you, I can't necessarily say, and that's a conversation to be had, because I can't necessarily say you feel the same way about me. You may feel like, okay, well, we got there, we cool, but I'm still dealing with old girl, That's a conversation to be had to make sure that we're on the same page. But for my person, and I'm a culmination of my experiences. I can only tell you what I know for me. Once I'm locked into the sex part of it, you're it.
Right.
So you can't fuck nobody else or make love to nobody else and go on dates with anybody else. Whoever you fucking, whoever you making love to, that's that person.
That's my person. And if I do hang out with another person, it's definitely platonic.
Okay.
There's no romanticism happening because my energy is going here now. I'm intentional about.
Do the guys know that though?
The guys I'm going out with?
Yes.
That I'm seeing that I'm with somebody?
That's platonic.
First of all, what I'm doing is my business.
Like, what I do in Miami ain't got nothing to do.
I will say
that switched up real fast.
I will say I'm a lot more open to seeing multiple people at that level until I'm locked in with one person.
Gotcha.
That'll taper off tremendously. And those that are coming at me from a certain angle will definitely get the energy that this not being reciprocated.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're not seeing me as much.
Yeah.
We ain't, don't touch me. Kind of a thing. It's pretty obvious. And if not, then you're such a great friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
with the hard D,
sure that we're all
and not
on
the hard D that he won't.
But again, I'm one that's not really frivolous with the whole sex thing either. Like for me, again, emotion and physical go hand in hand. So if I want to have sex with you, it's because I'm in love with you. I'm trying to give you this. So and I don't want to play with it. We in here. So,
but I mean, I understand that. Like, you're learning, especially like as we get older. It's like, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So you have to date around. You have to talk to other people. You like, okay, this might seem like something that's promising, but I gotta keep my options open until I'm
single till you're married.
Well, not single till you're married.
Not single till you're married.
Single until you're exclusive.
I like that. And what dating looks like varies from person to person. Some people can have sex with multiple people and they're fine with that.
Right.
For me, I cannot. However, if you can, that's your business.
Right.
My thing is, once you lock into one person and say, you know what, I feel like we have potential.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's that conversation of like, are you? I want you. Do you? Are we exclusive?
Yeah.
Are we only?
Am I your intention?
What's your
Is your intention for me?
Definition.
I feel like that's almost the first date question. Like, what is your
first date question?
You gotta let me finish.
Okay.
Am I allowed to talk? I can talk.
I know we all say first dates are really.
What I mean to say is,
I'm a sip of my
what
drink.
is your idea? What is your idea of exclusivity, or when do things become exclusive? Like your case, you say, okay, well, as soon as I start having sex with somebody, I pretty much am focused on that person. Be known. Yeah. So that's something that I think should be communicated. Maybe not necessarily first date, but like real early, so that you know that you're not to fuck around with this person. Because after the first date, you might like somebody or whatever and see how it go or whatever. But if you know that you just want to fuck this person, but you're still gonna try to fuck somebody else, and she says, if we fuck, I don't.
I'm in love.
I'm in love.
We in a relationship.
You know what I mean?
But we go together.
But that's also a slippery slope, because you got snakes out here, you got wolves out here, you got dudes. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna still get it though.
To be very clear about that, if we're going there, we've been seeing each other, we're feeling each other, we flirting, and we about to take it there. Understand that if you're the only person that I'm dealing with, I can't say that from the. I don't know what you're doing when we leave here. Just understand that this is my understanding of what we're doing.
Well, that's why I would say.
So for the most part, you don't have an issue with him doing whatever he's doing, necessarily.
If he's not my boyfriend, I can't control you. We're not
Right.
together. You're not committed to me.
Right.
I would just hope that we're on the same page there. But until we are committed, there's
So
condoms involved.
When do
There's
you
a little less sexual activity.
Condoms.
So when
Where's the condom?
There's things that I won't do if you're not my boyfriend because I'm not putting everything everywhere and it don't belong to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can get to a certain level, but just know that if
Okay.
I've given you that part of me,
Mm.
then there's nobody else. If
Gotcha.
you want to take me seriously, then align with that. If not, then cool, but it'll eventually taper off because again, intention and energy is everything.
Sex for me
it's going nowhere.
sex for me does not dictate being exclusive.
Right. Well, yeah. And I think it's dope that you point that out because it's a lot of people automatically feel like, okay, whatever it is that I put out is what I'm gonna get. And if I don't get that, then it's not okay. But you understand that
Yeah, no,
people
there's
function
levels,
differently.
and we're all again looking at things through different lenses. I know how my affection works.
Right.
I know how my attention works.
Yeah.
I know how things work for me, and that's why I communicate that. It's not like I'm
That's
going
the key.
into it and
I
you're in a
love that.
relationship.
That was
Communication.
We ain't in a relationship and
Communication.
you don't know that you're in a relationship with me. Or you my boyfriend since when? I thought, well, we had sex last week. We've been together. You know, I would never.
We go
I would-
together.
No, we go together now. Well, I would never do that. But I do make it clear I can be no more transparent than
Yeah.
I am.
I think that's
To say this and what happens from there is what happens from there. But I've been honest with you from the
Yeah.
beginning. If you want to snake me out or you want to try to act like, oh, I'm all about you, but you know you're doing, that's on you. That's on your conscience to sleep on at night. I've been real. So when
Yeah.
we do fall off, I can't say that, oh, I should have said something. Or I've been good from day one.
Yeah. So like my only thing about like first date is like, okay, the first date we're still trying to feel each other
Right.
out.
I don't know if that's a first date.
That's what I was gonna say.
situation.
Yeah, that's not a first date.
For me, I feel like it would be like after several dates where
Yeah.
like we maybe have a connection with, maybe you've been consistent with.
I'm calling you every other day.
Right,
Yeah,
like okay,
we
now
get
we're
Texting you every
building
day.
something,
We get there.
and now it's like
Yeah.
okay, now I want to know like what are you really looking for? Because
Yeah.
you know, people are dating multiple people, like you said. Maybe people fall off in the beginning, so it's like okay, I don't want to scare you or just like okay, what's your exclusivity?
Mhm.
You know, on the first date, it's just like okay, right now we're just getting a chemistry test,
Right.
Mhm.
like do we vibe?
Mhm.
Right.
You know, do you get my sense of humor? Do you get my, you know, like, are we?
Yeah.
And then maybe it's not. Like, maybe you don't get like my vibe, and we just
Right.
don't. So I won't see you again.
Mhm.
But if we're starting to get to a level of like, all right, I think we cool. Hey, so
We might have a little bit of potential. So
yeah,
let's
we
see
have
what
we
we-
Yeah.
have potential.
Yeah.
For me,
What
it's,
do
it's
you?
always a conversation. Like I will have sex with you.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah,
Keeping it
I'm
real.
Sure.
We can have sex and we gonna be good and ain't gonna be no drama. But that don't mean you're my woman.
Right.
But there will be a conversation of like, look, I'm kind
Well,
of
how
feeling
early
you.
is that sex? Is that like first date? Because then I'm like, maybe the first date question.
well.
What's the question again? What'd you say?
Oh my God! look.
Sorry, I'm a little buzzed right now.
I
So
think
No,
I
no,
think
no.
it kind of goes back to what your dude was saying is whenever he can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
you
yeah, yeah.
push the
Back in the
boundaries.
episode.
If I can get it today, I'll get it today.
And then the girl might be on the level of, well, if
Yeah.
I'm getting it today, then we're something more.
I actually ended up in a relationship with someone who, in the past, we were supposed to be just fuck buddies. But me trying to be the woke guy was like, look, I know we didn't have sex a couple of times. Are you interested in more? Because I don't want you to, like, if you're interested in more, then we can explore it. But
so
if it's,
you were interested in more, or you
I
were
was fine with just fucking.
but you were
But
open.
Respect
I
the
know
other side.
everyone does
Yeah.
not have the same perspective
Right.
about sexual interactions.
Mhm.
So once we had sex a couple of times, I was like, let's have a conversation.
So what did you feel from her? Did you feel like she wanted more, or
I
did you
kind
feel
of felt like she
Like,
might
was
she might have wanted more.
was she leaving stuff at your house? You know, on purpose,
Like, what the fuck
like
is
lashes.
come from?
Yeah.
No, it was none of
You
that.
were
It was none of
How you
Was it
get a
like-
key to my apartment? Wait a minute.
it was none of that.
Were
But
there subtle signs?
it was me just trying to be forward thinking,
Right.
Okay,
right?
so you thought she?
I was just like, hey, look, are we just fucking, or are you
You were
interested in more? Because I'm
Got you.
fine with either. Like, 'cause you're a
You guys
dope
were
person.
consistent, and it
And-
was like, what?
And she was like, yeah, you know, I actually kind of like you.
Okay.
All right, that's cool. Let's try it out. So we tried it out. Obviously, it didn't work out, but not because of other, it was other reasons.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
it was good that you guys got to that conversation. of
It's
like,
always
hey,
a conversation.
Right.
So
Always be a
back to my point, like I can
Make
have,
sure we're on the same page.
we can have sex,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but at some point you need to have a conversation and say, look, are we trying to be exclusive? Right?
Yeah.
right.
Especially
and
if
sex is
you're
not
actually
determined
spending
that.
like real time together. I mean, if I only see you when it's time to do, then that's
Yeah.
pretty clear what we're doing.
But also, like,
however, if we're we're looking, if we're forming something that resembles a relationship, we should probably have a conversation.
yeah, and definitions. I'm really like, I'm going back to elementary school. What's your definition?
Right.
Because
Mm.
I might be, and oh my gosh, I can't remember I don't know what the school definition, and you might be in the Urban Dictionary of like the definition of, you know what I mean?
Webster's
Webster's. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, God.
Relationships.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, I might
No,
be
I'm
at
with
Webster and you're at Urban Dictionary.
It's
I'm like,
always.
so let's figure out what
Yeah,
your
yeah.
definition
Yeah.
of
I got
this
different
looks like.
rules.
We
Exactly.
gotta figure
different
out our
rules.
rules.
And it's like, okay, so we're not on that same page. And
Yeah.
all right, cool.
And I will say, once upon a time, this whole philosophy of me being, the one person at a time, that hasn't always been the case. I was young once, and
You're still young.
and I'm doing my best. But no, I mean, and this was during a time where you finding yourself and you're just kind of living. Doing it on the first date wasn't a big deal. You know what? I was just kind of free. Like it
Wait,
was
hold
what it was.
on. Rewind.
However, I always found myself being the one that would catch feelings first, and that's when I realized.
First
that
date sex.
Oh, honey, the dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
married. Yeah.
Really? What? She said,
I'm with
Well, because I always felt like when it comes to like first date sex, your intentions are your intentions when we get here. And if you're gonna look at me differently because we both did the same thing, then I don't need to be with you anyway.
Right.
That's a double standard for women.
Yeah, and I think
always
that's
for
very
sex.
stupid because you had sex with me. You had sex with me. Like, I mean, we both
100%.
you know, I mean, what are you trying to say? We were together.
100%. 100%.
I didn't have sex
100%.
myself. You know,
100%.
I never understood that. So that's
Y'all should be. Y'all gotta be pure and
apparently we have
and
to be,
virgins.
virgins at 35 with 3 kids, but I need to reverse that.
Yeah, you see 3 kids. I mean,
Yeah.
you have at least 3 now.
That's
You know
too
what I
funny.
mean? But again, that's when just going through those experiences and again being the one that will always catch feelings and feel away. I'm like, you know what? I feel like that sexual expression is tied to my emotional state, and I feel like I should probably save that for when I'm because I know I'm gonna lose it. I know I'm not gonna be the one to be like, oh, we cool, because no, we not.
That's the
Why
thing.
are you giving that to somebody else? I'm upset.
But that's what I'm saying.
Did you do that to her too? Because I'm pissed.
You giving my dick up? You giving my dick up?
I appreciate that honesty. That's maturity. Like where we get to a place where it's like I have feelings tied to sex, and I cannot do that. I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot be casual.
Okay.
So,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had to learn that about me, and so I don't judge the next because I get it.
Yeah, you can. Maybe you can do it.
I can't do it.
I can't do it, and that's a level of like self-awareness. Like I can't do it, and I need you to be on the same page.
I need you to understand that if we're doing this,
then
first
we're
of all,
not.
the fact that we've been having this conversation, I feel some kind of way about you.
Exactly.
And if I let you up in here, and especially if you take me where I need to go, oh, I'm hooked. We together.
Right.
You got my lotion on your body and shit. Like, come on.
Smelling like something out of there.
All right, this is my final question. My final question: have you ever been cheated on? Because at the end of the day, I feel like this philosophy is all about cheating, right? Unless, and I understand that when you're single, and a lot of men in the past have led women on for a long time, and I do think that part of this philosophy is protecting your heart until someone steps up to the plate.
Right.
With that said, have you ever been cheated on in general?
Yes, I can honestly say I've never been in a committed relationship where I haven't been cheated on.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
To the point where I almost, and it took a lot of growing and sitting back and meditating and really coming into myself because I had almost convinced myself that no matter how good of a woman a man being the one for you, but no matter how good of a woman that you're going to be, or no matter what you bring to the table, there'll always be somebody better. So you may as well he's going to cheat on you. So you may as well just accept that that's what, you know what I mean? I don't feel that way now.
Okay. Okay.
But I can honestly say that I had gotten to a space in my life that I started to believe that because I can say, you know, with my first son, for example, you know, being with his dad, we basically shared a roof. I have your son, we're together.
Mm-hmm.
But because he never said the words, "Will you be my girlfriend? I'm single until I'm married," and he making children with everybody. We share a home. You telling me? But I got in trouble if I used a vibrator. Make it make sense.
I like vibrators in the bed.
I can't do anything. But you out here doing whatever because, oh, you ain't my girl. I never said that we was together. You never said the words, but I'm cooking for you. You're coming home to me. We have a son. You're
doing all the wife duties.
So we're basically married.
I ain't no Aries, but I know that.
Words.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? So don't treat me as
and
if,
guys will get away with what they
and we'll get away with it. And he genuinely felt like he was right. Like, well, no, you cheated on me like that, and that's
it's
what
setting
it is.
the boundaries for yourself and saying, "Listen."
I learned a big lesson on that. That was 14 years ago. I learned a big lesson on that. But in other situations where I've been cheated on, we were very together, and they knew that we were together, and they damn this to hide it, and y'all just aren't smart when it comes to hiding stuff, and they got caught every time. So. I think it wasn't a single until married thing. They were just being nasty.
I think most people who cheat want to get caught. Honestly,
you think so?
100%.
Wait.
You think
I think people who cheat want to be caught because they're unhappy about something in the relationship.
So why not just leave?
Depends on the person. That doesn't sound like somebody who's cheating to get caught. Like if somebody is unhappy, I think I could see it. But
because here's the thing, some people are unhappy.
Some people, that's just how they function.
True.
I felt the last time I dealt with this, and not to put too much business out, but not the last time I dealt with this, I felt like it was more of a security issue on his part. I felt like because even when asking, because I'm all about self-awareness and accountability. What could I have done better? Was I missing something? What could I? Nothing.
And I hate that so much. I hate that so much because we always.
I feel like
it's like, what did I do wrong?
I've been in 3 committed, serious relationships, and every single time, all right, well, the main variable is, so I gotta say, okay, well, is Britt doing something wrong, or are y'all dealing with issues? Like, what's happening? And the conclusion that I drew from that particular situation is it was a security thing. He felt like his worth and his value was based on how much ass he could pull. So even though we were together, I ain't got it if everybody ain't on me.
Yeah.
Well, but you have me.
That was all about him.
And that was all about him.
All about him.
And then the previous before that, I don't know why people do what they do, but the previous before that, I think he was dealing with some type of issues as well because he became physically abusive later. You know what I mean? So I'm doing my best. I'm bending over backwards to make
people self-sabotage all the time. And
you're making decisions based
on
the
way that they're doing it.
Yeah. And also like I had to do work on myself. I'm still doing work. I'm not.
It doesn't end.
But it does not end. But it's like I started realizing what I was attracting as well. Right. So I remember having I'm like looking at you like you're Nicole. But one of the very early podcasts.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi. But one of the very early podcasts that I had, I remember we were having a conversation and I was like, well, you know what? If he cheats one time, it's fine. Oh,
God, that used to be me.
Yeah. And I was like, I
had self-worth issues though.
Exactly. And so I remember there was a guy, oh my God, it's okay. I can't remember his name right now, but he was just like, why are you already walking in accepting that?
Yeah.
It's like
it's the way that you view yourself.
You already,
like I told you, I had already internalized. Oh, it's always going to be somebody better, so I may as well just bubble up.
Or I'm expecting that. And he's like, why are you walking into a relationship expecting that?
And ready to settle for it.
Right, ready to settle for it. He can cheat a couple times.
It's a mistake.
And I'm going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And so that
then you get the whole boys will be boys and men aren't made to be monogamous.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Unacceptable. Don't accept that.
But this is what we're being fed as women. I'm just saying, this is what we're being told.
And the things that we've been, we've seen. And so it's just like, that really clicked for me. And I was just like, wow, I'm walking into whatever relationship already accepting this man cheating on me.
Yeah, don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that clicked. That was like 4 years ago.
So you've been cheated? You've been cheated on?
I have. It was funny. All
right. You've been cheated on? Really?
Technically, no.
Technically,
what does that mean?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I was in like an 8-year relationship. My first relationship was very long.
The long distance
Might
one?
as well, yeah. I mean, off and on. And there were times where we were definitely off, and there was things happening that I.
When you're off, it's not cheating.
That's what I'm saying. Now,
Yeah.
that didn't change the fact that I felt betrayed when I found out.
Right.
For me, I was like, "You still mine though?" Like,
were you doing your thing?
Of course, I was doing whatever.
Okay.
I was doing whatever. She was doing whatever. We were both doing whatever.
So you gotta eat that.
And eventually I did, and we got back together. For like 8 years.
Lord.
Fair enough.
But not where I knew we were
Sneaking in,
together,
doing the most,
and they just. I mean, as far as I know,
I don't know if I ever been cheated on.
What?
You never caught anybody cheating.
You never.
I've never caught anyone cheating.
Yeah. Do you think you have?
That's interesting.
We good.
Deep down in my soul,
You felt it.
I kind of feel like I did get cheated on in my last relationship, but I don't. Here's my thing. We can't control what other people are going to do.
Right.
So I don't concern myself about it. If people are going to cheat, they're going to cheat.
Right.
So I don't ask no questions. At the end of the day, if the relationship is struggling, I got to try to figure out why it's struggling. If I can't fix it, I got to go. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I decided to break up with her because we weren't in a good space after me trying.
Right.
Deep down,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there was maybe someone else, but I
So-
wasn't going to research it.
So you said something earlier where you were like, somebody that's cheating, they want to get caught.
Mhm.
And I think that's not always necessarily true. I think some guys feel like they can get away with it.
Yeah.
But a woman's intuition ain't nothing to fuck with.
I even asked why, and he said because I could. Because you
Right.
trusted me.
Oh,
Because I knew you trusted me.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a woman's intuition will wake you up and be like, something's
But
wrong.
here's,
right?
but
And
here's,
you felt like.
but
you
here's
said
the thing
you
with
felt something's
intuition.
wrong.
I don't feel like women give men enough credit about intuition as well.
You guys have the same thing. You
Because at the end of the day,
Intuition
it's a change of patterns.
Something is off.
Something's off. Your
I don't
pattern
believe
has
it.
changed.
I don't
We're
believe none of
not.
that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, actually, I
Remy.
do believe in what you're talking about.
Like,
I don't think that's intuition.
It is intuition.
I think
It
this
is.
Because intuition,
but
intuition
when you
is
talk about
like
women's intuition.
But just
Is it based on like a pattern change, or is
It's
it based
it's
on
always
like, I
a
just got
pattern
a feeling, I had a
change.
dream about you fucking this bitch?
Nah, that's crazy.
Like, I've
That's
heard that
crazy.
shit.
That's crazy.
It's
Who's
all
that girl you was fucking in the back of the classroom? I ain't never been. I haven't even been to school.
Energy. It's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
reading of energy, and they
Yeah.
lead it to women because it's supposed to be more of an emotional thing, and we're supposed to be emotional creatures. But the
More.
truth is, everybody's emotional.
Everyone
Everybody
has
Everybody
it.
has
Everyone
I
has
concede
it.
to that.
You can feel when something's
If
off
you-
with a person.
if you
Quick,
are-
Justin in the comments, he said, in my experience, there are 3 types of people when it comes to cheating. Those that are going to cheat regardless, those that will never cheat no matter what,
yes,
and those that can be driven to cheat.
right.
Justin, we're gonna get you on because Justin reached out to me about getting on podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
because
But I just think that it's a pattern change.
Yeah.
At the end of the
I can
day,
feel it.
because when you're in tune with your partner
Yes.
and you know that they call you every day and they text you every day or whatnot, all of a sudden they don't text you for a couple of days. Oh, it's the patterns
It could be very
change.
subtle. really
Something's
subtle.
changed. It's like,
Something very subtle.
something's different.
Right. Right.
Smiling at your phone a lot. You good?
Right.
Yeah, you know, like men have that and women have it as well.
Everybody
so,
can notice because you're with a person all the time.
yeah.
But to the point that was made in the comment, though, do you think that there's ever a justifiable reason to cheat on somebody? He said driven to cheat. So do you think that there's a justifiable reason?
Listen, I haven't been in a
it's-
long. Go ahead.
That's a hard thing because
Yeah. So,
when you like in a marriage and you
Yeah, that's
got
what I was gonna say.
kids, like if it's a long, strong, deep situation and you really don't
you
want
got a
to,
lot to lose.
You guys get disconnected at
you're
some
like,
point.
well, what the
Yeah.
fuck am I supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah.
I
If-
can't. I
you
don't
guys
know
are
what to do here. I don't want to
communicating.
lose this. I don't want to let you go.
But I need
But
to get
damn,
this
I
and
need
that.
something. Like, what the fuck am I?
But my work wife is trying to cuddle my balls.
Not even that.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, when there's holes in a relationship, there's
Yeah.
people out there that are willing to fill those
Some
holes.
dudes are just like, and I've heard this, like, I just need my dick sucked.
For a lot of
the best man.
For
Like
a-
in the best
Oh,
man.
yeah.
What's the best man?
Was it the best man?
No, no, no.
Girlfriend.
I just
The movie
because-
talking about this, the bachelor party.
Yeah, the best
He
man.
wanted to
Like,
get his dick
but
sucked.
honestly, like I've heard that, like where people get married and the whole sexual thing just like falls off, and a
Yeah.
guy's like, I just need this need met, and I want to go home to my wife,
Mhm.
but like it's just not what it used to be, and that's
Yeah.
all. That's part of like my commitment issue because it's like I'm gonna turn into that. Like I'm gonna have a
Mhm.
kid and
And-
responsibilities,
And not to I don't want to woman bash, but I do understand that like things
We
get hard, especially when you have
change.
kids.
Yeah.
But some women be like, all right, look, dick sucking is retired. Just so you know, I'm not doing that shit no more.
It ain't gonna happen no more.
Like there's a comedian. I can't remember her name right now. I think it's Amy something. Yeah, she was pregnant when she.
Oh yeah, Amy Schumer.
Yeah. So no.
Amy
She's
Schumer
Asian.
was the Asian chick. I know.
Yeah.
She did both her specials
I
pregnant. I wish I could remember her name.
Oh my god, I could see her face.
But wait,
she's not an Amy. She's a it starts with an A.
Yeah, so she said in one of her specials, she was like, "Listen, I'm not sucking no more dick. Like I've concluded that she's on like second baby.
You gonna suck my dick?
I'm having your second child, and
I'm
I make more
that
money
pussy,
than
you
you. I'm not sucking your dick no more."
What? She wasn't being serious. Maybe she was.
No, she probably was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's someone that dealt with it, I guess. For me, and again, not to put too much business out, but I will say intimacy started to fade. But for me, it was just the emotional disconnect.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to, long-term relationships, you can't survive off history. You have to continue to build.
You got to evolve.
But how does that work with kids? That's what
well, I have 3 of them, so I'll tell you. You have to want to. Anything that you want, you put effort towards.
Okay.
All right. So kids go to sleep. You may be tired. He may have to bear with the fact that you just gave birth. I got to breastfeed. I'm fucking tired. Be understanding for a minute. If you're telling me that your sexual urges are more important than the fact that I just gave birth to your child, then we need to be having a conversation. Now, as time passes, libido starts to come back, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you need to redate. Maybe you need to reconnect. Maybe you need to bring back to the table what got us there in the first place. It's not going to just wait. I'm not going to wake up one day and say, "Oh, I want you now." I just went through a whole life-changing traumatic experience. Reconnect with me if you want me. If you want what we have, then we both have to put the effort into reconnecting and recreating.
I love the way you said that, though. I think it's like it's that is something that a lot of women need, or a lot of men need to hear. Like, hey, we need to reconnect it after this life traumatic experience.
This is a traumatic experience. Life has just shifted for us. Nothing is the same. Your body didn't go through anything, but everything for me has changed. My hormones ain't even the same. Yeah. My bones aren't the same. Nothing about me is the same as it was before I pushed out your damn big head ass child.
Don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid.
One of the worst things I've experienced was being cheated on while pregnant. Like I can't even walk upstairs. And you have the odd that, well, you won't be in the mood.
Yeah, that's tough.
Of course I'm not. Like,
and I think it's just like, I think men don't understand because they're not going through that whole experience. And they're still like selfish. Like, I still want this. I still need this. Because they're the same. Yes, they put the little sperm in you, and now they're still the same.
And now they just wait.
Why I gotta be little though?
9 months.
Why I gotta be a little? Why I gotta be a little?
3 months, she still won't do. Like,
she don't want it.
And it took me 9 months to stretch this baby. You think I'm gonna snap back just because baby outside? It took 9 months just like here. It's gonna take me a year to get back.
Changes of like, hey, some women have like morning sickness. The body
re-woo
changes.
Me. You want me, then re-woo me.
So.
Help me out here. I'm trying.
Last part.
I'm sorry.
I know Jay is a very strong advocate of like direct communication. If you need something, let me know what you need so I can do it.
Right.
But, and I haven't experienced it, so I can't speak to it directly, but I know sometimes in relationships, these kind of things don't get communicated directly. Like, so a man might be like, well, I don't know what you need. Obviously you need something. And for her, it's like, yeah, motherfucker, I need something. I'm pregnant right now, whatever. But like, what do you need? What am I supposed to do?
And that
to make sure that you're good
on us to communicate that. And some women, it's hard.
That's one of the
to be able to communicate.
The big being like a chronically relationship type person. I always have issues with some form of how we communicate.
Yeah.
And it is very rare. I be telling Jay this all the time. It's very rare for me to get the direct communication that I would like to have. Like for somebody just say what it is that they want. Like, what do you want? Just say what you want.
All right.
I don't always get that. I hate dealing with like, I'm not gonna guess.
Right.
Like I remember,
And sometimes you will, but you're gonna get it wrong. Like, hold on. Try some shit, get it wrong, be like, I fucked up tonight. All right, I guess I don't know you.
So let's say
I don't know you.
Because I have not been pregnant. You can correct me. Let's say, hey, listen, right now I don't feel myself. I'm throwing up. I have morning sickness. I don't know how long this is gonna last. Maybe it's 9 weeks, maybe it's 16 weeks. I just want you to be here. So as a guy, can you go 16, 9? I don't know how many weeks. I don't know.
Depends on the
I'm just saying, like, can you not give me a hand job? can't give me a hand job.
I know you're pregnant, but your hand still works.
Your hand still works.
Come on now.
Your hand still
And
works.
that's insensitive.
So what's the problem?
That's insensitive.
shit.
Like,
It
listen,
is.
But that's
listen.
why they
There
always
it
say,
is.
like, when you reach life-changing experiences,
Right.
as pregnancy,
Somebody
I
has
know
to be understanding.
each pregnancy that I
Yeah.
had was completely different.
Yeah.
One of them, I couldn't get enough sex. We couldn't do it enough. I
Mm.
basically slept with it in somewhere. All right.
Mm.
Dear.
The second time, I gained a lot of weight. I was very self-conscious. I was tired. I could barely move. Sciatic pains. It was just bad. It took me a minute to get it back. My daughter, it was a high-risk pregnancy the entire time.
Right.
You can't touch me.
Mm.
So she ended up being born early. She was in the NICU 6 months. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm stressed. I'm trying to figure out. It was crazy. Each time I can't predict what this is going to look like.
And it's
That's
like,
why
Yeah.
they say
Can
that
you go
life
that
changing
long?
That's hard.
is like that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. It's hard.
Because the
Definitely.
guy
There's
is
no right
It's
or wrong.
hard. It's
And
hard.
if you go
Definitely.
into that with communication issues, it's only going to magnify those
Yeah,
issues because
right.
now is the time where all those skills are being tested. And if
Facts.
y'all don't know what you're doing, it's probably gonna fall apart.
Facts.
All I'm saying is, don't get mad at me when you walk in. I'm watching porn on the big screen. Okay.
As long as you ain't out
'Cause
there doing no girl, I don't care what you're doing.
I'm with it. So obviously, Method Head, y'all see this conversation can go on and on
Forever.
about it because it is a
Can I-
good.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure, one
My
more.
last question.
One
For
more.
Everybody.
Oh, everybody. I was like,
We'll go around the room. If the convo is never explicitly had, your philosophy is single until blank. And I feel like you
Say it
kinda-
again. Hold on, say it again.
If the
Ooh,
convo
that's
is
a good
never
question.
explicitly
If
had,
the conversation's never been had,
so
Okay.
like because people have communication issues, you
Yes.
might not say, well, when are we in a relationship?
yeah.
Well, what is your philosophy is single until blank. We know girls' philosophy is single until
Mm.
marriage. That's just her own secret rule that
Right.
she walks around with.
Mm.
yeah.
I think you kind of mentioned if we living together, like
Well, that was
you're
before.
not single.
That was when I was in my young 20s. I took that
Are you still in your
situation.
20s?
No, I'm 35.
Okay.
When
Little
I was
baby.
when I was in my 20s, I
I'm younger there.
was willing to go through the motions without having the conversation. I was really hard. It was hard for me to have those type of conversations because I feared rejection.
Mm.
And I again have self-worth issues. It just I really didn't want you to turn me down. So
Awareness,
I'll just
though.
do, you know, and we together, we did.
Yeah.
yeah,
However, now that I'm, where I am at this point, I feel like, those are conversations that need to be had. I am transparent, like I said, about, if we have sex where this is where I am, but I'm single, I guess, until we decide that we're not single anymore.
until we have
So
the
even though I'm
conversation.
having sex with you, that could change at any time. Maybe I don't like you like that anymore. So I'm gonna go do him now. You're not getting this anymore. And that conversation would be had as well, but I'm not your girlfriend, so I don't owe you anything. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those things. So yeah, I would be single until we decide that we're not single.
Yeah.
How I operate that singleness is different. But
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like it's the same thing for me. It's like we're single until we're exclusive, and then if we
Mhm.
decide that this exclusive thing, like you want to be with someone else or whatever, isn't working, then I'm single again. But I feel like there are steps to marriage, and again, with me being a commitment phobe, past commitment phobe, it's like, I know like marriage is a big step, but
Yeah.
I definitely like want to take the small steps of like, all right, we're not seeing other people. It's just you and I,
Mhm.
or like, okay, now we're building a foundation. Now we're talking about like, kids, or we're talking about, building a life
a
together.
common goal, a
A
common life goal. Yeah.
We have a vision together. And so I'm not single anymore because I'm only building this with you.
Mhm.
Right.
There's nobody else I'm committing my life to.
Yeah.
And then if we get married,
We just kind of solidified the
we-
agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
But if
Hmm.
we're exclusive, that's the first step of moving towards that.
Yeah.
And I'm not having sex because that's a sexual energy. I'm not sharing myself with anybody else because now you and I are planning a
Mm.
life together. So I'm single until exclusive.
So for me, sex will not ever dictate me being exclusive.
As a guy,
Because
most guys.
Because I love
What about-
sex, and I
What about if you
I
have
love
sex
sex.
with
I
somebody
think.
for a year?
Let me finish my
And she's the
thoughts.
only
Let me
one
finish
you're
my
having
thoughts.
sex with.
Let me finish my thoughts.
Guys are different though. Sex is like not-
Sex in general, on a basic level, will never generate me wanting to be just with one person.
Right.
What generates that, whether we have a conversation or not, is the consistency,
Mm.
right? If I talk to you every day, if I'm texting you or calling you and we're having sex, and we hanging out, eventually I'm gonna fade other people to the black.
Right.
Because I'm spending my time with you.
That's where your energy is going.
That's where my energy is going. So ideally, yes, I want to have a conversation, and where I'm at in my life, I'm going to have a conversation and be like, baby, look, I'm feeling you. I like you. I want to be with you. Can we be exclusive? Right. But I don't need to have the conversation in order for me to fade other people to the black.
Right.
Right. Now, I do need to have a conversation eventually about me and her.
To make sure that we're both fading people to the black.
Yeah, you know, but I don't, for me, it's like sex is not the denominator into what I decide. Right. And sex is not a deal breaker when someone has sex with someone else. So someone's cheating, right? It's like, I don't care about sex. Sex is not what I'm pissed about.
I think you're more of an open person.
It's the cheating.
The lying. And
it's
not
the lying.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very open person. You can come. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it earlier, and your eyes went back to the back of your head. It was like,
my eyes did?
Yes. When we were talking about, like, you probably in your bachelorette party or bachelor party, whatever. You know, you guys both would be open and having like just freedom. And so I feel like that is something that, like, that's what you would want. It's just like the freedom of like expression, like
as long as it's communicated,
right? As long as it's communicated, you can explore different options.
I'm always better with communication. I remember dating this young lady, and she would never communicate how she felt unless we were drinking.
Oh,
right, and like, so when we were drinking, and she's feeling tipsy, she would always communicate how she felt, and I would just be smiling. She's like, "Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling?" I'm like, because now I know how you feel.
Right.
From this point on, now I know how to move.
Right.
Right.
But you don't want somebody that only can communicate themselves when they're drinking.
100%. 100%.
It's like you need someone 100%. Who's like,
yeah,
this is who I am, and they're firm in who they are.
I agree.
So that's what it is. You just need to find that person. First of all, not to go into like this whole psychology thing, but it's like you have to be comfortable in who you are, what you want. And then find the person that accepts you for who you are, and then
that's compatible with that.
It's compatible.
Simple as that.
Point blank.
I think that we make it more complicated because we've created all of these rules to dating.
But it's because we have these whole standards, you know what I'm saying? And we're starting to break them
based on experience.
Right. Like we're starting to, you know, like you got to be married at this age, and this is what marriage and love looks like. I think we're starting to really explore the different options of like.
So many people are trying to hold on to old beliefs and old traditions.
Like marriage.
They
like, don't really apply. They don't work anymore.
Marriage is what? 50%?
Like till death do us part.
75% marriage rate? Like divorce rate?
That's crazy.
It's terrible. Like marriage is not what it used to be. And we have to get to that point where we're like, okay, marriage isn't what it used to be. Let's adapt. Let's find what we really want.
Right. I think that, you know, marriage in itself, you know, like we said before, when people were doing it before, it was, you know, survival.
You can bring the food and you can bring the kids.
But it's what we needed to stabilize ourselves.
Right.
But now we're in a space where women are getting careers and men are doing their thing. There's a lot more freedom of choice.
What were women going to do in 1925?
Right.
Your job was to come into my house, have my children, and then all go work the farm. Women
couldn't work. Women couldn't get a credit card, couldn't get a house, couldn't buy a car. You had to get married.
It was a completely different
So y'all the problem.
So it wasn't about
patriarchal
society. Okay, well, let's not go there.
We had to get married because like there's certain things that we had to have access to.
Yeah.
And so it was like you brought this, I brought this. I can carry on your legacy. I'm fertile. So you know what I'm saying? So but those narratives have changed. Like hey,
so it's
I
a
can
different
work
look now.
100%, man.
I don't know how long your podcast usually lasts, but
I
think we've got over.
This is one of the longer ones, but it's okay. We've had a great.
We didn't even do the.
I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it.
We're
about to do it. So listen, y'all. Like it's a great
3-hour podcast.
It's a great. We only have 2 segments left.
I know
2 segments.
Exactly.
And look, it's a good conversation, and typically we have more people on. More people have more thoughts, you know, so it's bound to happen. Yeah, it's all good. It's like, so if you enjoyed the conversation about single to married, comment, let us know, man. Text about it. Let us know your thoughts.
Tell us if we was wrong, because
Remy was over there quiet most of this podcast. I think we were over talking him.
Remy was listening.
Aries.
Well, usually when I smoke, I talk too much, so I'm kind of.
All right, y'all. We're moving into unnamed artists. Unnamed artists is where I'm going to play 3. Actually, I got 4 songs tonight. 4 songs tonight, where you don't have to know them. You just need to vibe out to them and decide which song is the best.
Okay. I'm down for that.
All right. One song is the defending champion.
Okay.
And the other songs will be the challengers.
Okay.
Method heads comment in there after the songs are played. So the first song is the defending champion. I think the one last week just because Remy didn't want Rick Ross to win again.
Oh, I love Rick Ross. You listen to his new album?
No, I don't listen to Rick Ross like that.
All right.
You like Rick Ross?
I like Rick Ross.
Oh my God.
This song is called Same Prayer. And this is an opportunity to refill your drinks. You only had one drink, Brittany.
That's a lie. This is my second one.
It's your second one?
Yeah.
All
You
right.
see me over
Refill
here?
your drink. I got a buzz. I ain't gonna lie. So
I'm buzzed too. You did what you needed to do.
all right, good. All right. So here is the defending champion. It's called Same Prayer.
Now you're being it harder. Ooh, yeah.
Refill your drinks. Get your blunt. Get your weed. Get your hookah. Whatever you got right now. This is the time.
It's definitely a vibe. I can be like, I can see myself in hey.
Just carry me through everything. I have no fear for anything. Just give me all the strength.
Wait, who's the artist?
I ain't telling you the artist. That's why I call it unnamed artist.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm like, wait, who is this? So I can sound.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
For every drop of air I breathe.
I like it.
Waking me up this morning. And I'm trying in the streets to be peace. Judge, I never leave my side.
I feel like you gotta be at a. Okay, this might be old school. When you in a like dark club and you like grinding on somebody.
Yeah, you backing it up.
Yeah, okay. All right, you know what I'm talking about. The dirty wine.
And the guys are just like,
Yeah, they just stand on the wall, leaning back.
Oh my gosh.
Breaking your neck out. You like, yeah, the shit we used to do.
I mean, oh my god.
My knees don't work the way
so
they
that is the defending champion. He won last week. That is actually, I would tell you the name of it. That's Chronix. So you haven't heard of Chronix, you should check Chronix out. Chronix is definitely a dope artist. All right, here is challenger number 1. This is called Amino Appiano.
Okay. Well, this kind of reminds me of Beyonce.
Challenger number 1.
Hey, ha. Oh, yeah, man, amen, okay, I think we're hearing. Did you give me now your cool hearing? Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes.
The beat is crazy, right?
This is wild.
You want to bamba? You want to G with the big boys?
Hey.
Yo, we gotta go out.
Hey, let's go.
Can you see how the thing goes?
Oh, I gotta get this song.
What you doing for New Year's?
Not a damn thing.
Looking at it. Yo, hey. I hate this song. Whoever this is, you know.
I don't know how you can hear this song and not want to move.
Right? I'm gonna play this when I'm going home. I'm gonna be crazy when I go in my car. Just
And the good thing about it is that there's not a lot of words. It's just a beat.
I love the beat. The beat is crazy.
Yeah.
Like whoever made this beat is on point.
Shout out to TikTok. Because
Shout out
TikTok
to
put me
TikTok.
under this song. Yeah. All right, that's challenger number 1. That's challenger
All right.
number 1.
In the beginning, I wasn't feeling it, and then
It took a while, right?
it took a while, and then I was like, them
That's
drums,
challenge number 1.
Them drums, them deep drums.
All right, here's challenger number 2. And I know it's going to get mixed reactions, but I love it 100%. It has an 80s vibe to it.
I'm an 80s baby.
Challenger number 2.
This sounds like the weekend.
Look at Brittany moving. Brittany moving. She moving.
I can tell you who they sampled. I know the sample. They sampled.
You have to leave, just stay for a while. The longer you stay, the better the time.
Is this Tory Lanez?
Yeah, it's Tory
Holy
Lanez.
shit.
Oh, really?
Holy shit.
But you know what? Tory Lanez only samples everybody, like 80s, 90s.
His whole album, he has a new album out.
It's all samples.
It's all 80s.
Well, Chicks Tape was all, I think, 2000 samples.
Was it?
And that shit is crazy.
But I'm like, because I'm from the era, I'm like, it's disrespectful slightly. Because I know the originals, like
What I like about
T-Pain.
it, what I like about it is that it's samples, but it's with the artist. Like,
Right,
they're
and
on it.
I
I like
appreciate
that
that.
about
Like
it.
the fact that they were like, "Yeah, I'll come back," and
Yeah.
like, okay,
To me, that's
respect.
the
yeah,
way to do it.
Yeah, that is like, hey, invite them back on. So it
Yeah.
wasn't completely disrespectful because they came back and did a remix. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I remember these songs.
Right, of course, yeah.
I remember the original.
They don't beat the original for sure,
Yeah.
but I like the.
I
the
get it.
homage.
Yeah, the fact that they came back, and then T-Pain came back and did his whole
Yeah.
sample with the other song.
I actually love Tory Lanez's new album.
I'm
So
actually torn.
I know why you're torn. I'm torn too, but I ain't gonna lie. Tory Lanez got some bangers. All right, that's
No, I'm not
challenger
torn
number
'cause of
2. Challenger number 3, final song. Here we go.
Okay.
Wait. That was the first song?
That was the second song. This is challenger number 3. It's called Too Hot.
And for the record, setting shit straight.
So you doing
Album
4
of the
songs?
year, that's a mixtape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young nigga booming since the shit's great. Wrap around my finger like the shit's brain. Big ring on me like the big day. Walking out the flame like I'm Nick Cage. Too hard to handle. I got it. High fever. Come round and ride the vibration.
That's a vibe.
It is.
It's hard.
She's like, I didn't know.
I like all of them songs.
I have my vote, but I just really enjoyed this.
All right, y'all. That is song number 4, challenger number 3. It is time to vote. Method heads, if you are in the comments or if you're listening to this podcast episode later after tonight, you still can vote.
Can you tell us the name of the song and artist or no? For each one?
I mean, are you gonna do that after? I'm like, you definitely have to do that after. I know. I need all of them. They're all
Afterwards,
great.
afterwards, I was in it to you. Afterwards.
They're all
So
great
vote for
songs.
song number 1, number 2,
So
number
the
3, and
table will
number
get to
4.
vote. So get to vote as well. So do you want the defending champion, which was Chronics?
Mhm.
Do you want song number 2, which was Amino a Piano? Song number 3, which was Tory Lanez, or song number 4, called Too Hot? Which one do y'all want?
Are we going in the order?
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Whichever direction y'all want to go in.
2. I like number 2.
Number 2 was A Piano.
Yeah, that was that Afro vibe.
Okay.
It was dope. I'm gonna listen to that on the way home.
I second that.
Oh,
damn,
2
okay.
votes for
Absolutely.
Yeah.
really,
I was trying to get a high
Music
five,
that
but
I
it
can
was
feel that was a
yeah,
good song.
yeah, that was a good vibe.
really. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Like, can you play that
Okay.
again? Like, no, that was a vibe.
I didn't expect that. Remy, who you voting for? So we got 2 for number 2.
Song number 4.
Listen, I'm about to pull up my Shazam right now.
Declare.
Listen,
Song number 4 was
listen, I'm
Too
pulling up
Hot.
Shazam.
What we got in the
right-
comments? We got anything in the comments at all?
Justin said number 3.
Number 3.
Oh, challenging song number 4. So challenger 3.
So we got 2 too.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we got 2
That's my
too.
guys. Yes.
Wait, that's 3 twos because we both said 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
said 2.
you
So
hit
then
the
he said
2.
three.
2 or 2 for 4, 2 for 2.
2.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
okay.
he's gonna break the tie unless somebody else in the comments.
all right.
I get to be the tiebreaker.
Even if you
right,
listen
all
to this on Spotify,
Don't
you
let
can
me be
vote.
the tiebreaker. Don't let me be the tiebreaker.
Change
You gonna vote for the
change the winner
challenge?
next
Somebody.
week.
I'll give a couple more. I'll give a couple more seconds before.
You tie it. You break the
Before-
tie. You gonna go
Hey,
with the
thanks for
defending?
kicking it with us, Justin. We appreciate it, man.
Justin
Yeah.
actually hit me up. He actually said, "Hey, I want to get on the show." he wanted to come on this week. I said I already got 2 beautiful women coming on this week,
Well,
but we'll get you on
Next week.
or whenever.
well,
I'm saying next week.
he can't do next week.
Whenever we get you on, man.
You know, next week is Christmas week,
Yeah,
voted
for
for
sure.
Ed voted for number 4.
and we actually got to decide whether or not we're going to do a podcast on Thursday or
Right,
Wednesday. Who would Ed vote for?
Number 4.
Yeah, no. Ed voted for number 4.
So
as well.
number 4. Number
Okay.
4
Voted for
is
number
too.
4.
It's too hot.
Is that must have been like three votes for 4?
Yes.
Oh, so
So too hot may
Okay.
be the champion. We have anyone
Sounds like
else? Anyone else that wants to vote? Anyone
I kind
else?
of want to change my vote now, but
Why?
Why? Change
Already
the vote
voted.
Why do you
for?
want to change it?
because
I mean, they were all great songs.
They were all great
They're
songs.
all
They
great
really
songs.
are.
honestly, I kind of voted for number 4 just because it was the last one I heard. I did like all of them,
Yeah.
but I kind of want to give.
Why
give
you
to
always
Tory
being
Lanez.
difficult? You should
Because
gotta
that's
do
what I am. I'm
You
an
said-
Aries.
Because that's
Just-
me.
I'm an Aries.
Go
That's
ahead.
me, nigga.
I'll say
Love
this:
it.
if I voted, I can't change my vote.
Mhm.
So,
But I would
but
if
Tory
I could.
Lanez was not in the running. He was number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? My problem with Tory Lanez.
I
My problem
know.
with Tory Lanez.
Yes,
I ain't
Megan
even gotta say that.
Stallion. Everyone
So-
knows. And I knew when I chose it, it's going to be
But not
controversial.
only that.
But his album is actually really good.
Tory Lanez don't make bad music.
He does
No.
not.
Here's the
He
thing.
does not.
He doesn't make bad music because he samples great music.
Mm.
So
Fair
he's
enough.
He's talented artist.
he
So-
knows how to listen for great songs,
Yeah.
but he's only a sampler. Like I have
Yeah.
not heard anything
You ever heard
Original.
specifically original
You
for
got a wild
from
mosquito
Tory.
here. You ever heard the
I
song
knew I
called
wasn't
"Talk to Me"? You ever heard a song called "Talk to Me"?
No,
No, there's no sample. Look for that one. That
What?
one.
That's one.
And look for the remix. I mean, you
I
know,
will.
he's got a few,
Yeah.
but
But that's
I think especially with how much trouble R&B has today, I think he's really good. And to me, like you know
That's a
how
big ass
That's
mosquito.
a big ass.
yeah,
that's
you know
a
how
big
you know how
motherfucker.
Drake is kind of like a singer and a rapper.
Yes.
To me, Tory Lanez is that like times 5. Like
Oh,
he's
let's
a
not do
much
that.
better
Let's not do
singer
that. Mm.
and probably a better rapper than Drake. As
Oh,
far as putting words
oh,
together,
dear
I like
Jesus.
Drake. No, I'm a Drake fan. I
He
love
is
Drake.
the Drake fan,
But-
like a big Drake fan.
But the way Tory Lanez raps and puts words together is just different, and I can understand. It just works really well on music sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And
I
who would
get
think to take that seriously because he's such a good singer? You know, he's more like Lauryn Hill than I would say Drake could ever be.
it.
All right, so it looks like that all the tallies are in, and it looks like song
4.
number. What song was it?
4.
Song number 4.
Yeah.
Too Hot.
Yeah, I voted for song number 4.
Too
Alright.
Hot is the winner. Too Hot is the winner. All right, man. We got moving into final thoughts.
Oh dear.
So method thoughts, aka final thoughts, basically any thought that you want to end the show with. It can be anything, any world topic, anything that you want the method head to end the show with. Who wants to go first? Anyone. Anyone.
So I'll say this. I'm not religious or spiritual or
Mhm.
anything like that. But I've realized recently that 2022 is going to challenge me probably like no year before. Like things with my job are changing. My financial circumstances are being repaired. I might get married. I'm preparing for a wedding like this.
Ain't no
So-
Mike. Ain't no
I'm
Mike.
saying, no.
Ain't no Mike.
No, I'm saying as far as 2022 goes, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna get married probably by 2023 or later. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm basically working towards all of that. So I don't know what people do out here, pray or whatever it is that y'all do, but please give me some of that as much as you can, because I feel like
I
need
don't
to
pray,
be
but I'm gonna sing you
Whatever-
some good
whatever
vibes.
you can
though. I'll
offer.
sing you some
Good
good
Whatever,
vibes.
I'll take prayer. I'm not religious at all, but I will take
Yeah,
prayer.
me neither.
That's how I'm feeling. I will accept
Yeah.
prayer.
It's been rough. It has
Yeah.
been tough.
I'm trying to,
This
because
mosquito
2021, I had a great 2020.
You had a great 2021 though.
Fucking
Maybe obviously I
sucked.
don't know all your struggles, right? Everyone does not know everyone's
Yeah.
struggle. Everyone has
Yeah.
things that they're going through.
Right.
But from the outside looking in, it appears that you had a great 2021. You got engaged. You bought a house.
Oh,
I bought the house in
congratulations.
2020. Actually, that's
At
what.
the end,
my
though.
God.
At the end of 2020. It was at the
Wait,
end.
In
when-
2021, the house became problems.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Yeah.
We can talk
The
about
house
this
problems
offline.
showed up.
Oh, home entrepreneurship ain't no joke.
Man, yeah.
Ain't no.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Okay.
Boy, I'm learning.
We talk about that offline.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you bought a house?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
You're in a
we'll
great
see how 2022 goes.
But
You're
it's
in a
called
great neighborhood.
responsibilities.
Yeah, I'm
He's
learning.
in, he's in a great neighborhood. He's in South Howard,
It's
South
just
South
like
Tampa.
when you buy a house,
Tampa.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Something to
So
learn.
you
So I'm
learn.
learning.
You learn a lot. That part.
All right,
Okay.
final thoughts, Brittany. Anything?
But congratulations overall.
Thank
for sure.
you.
It's leveling up.
I guess my final thoughts would be, first of all, communication, learn how to communicate.
Fuck that shit. Ain't
And,
communicating nobody. You know I'm
Secondly,
playing.
visit my website at www.marygracelegacy.com for all of your Christmas gifts and gifts ideas. This weekend will be the final weekend before with a guaranteed shipping before Christmas. And also Mary and Grace will be vending at the Soul exhibit on the first, it's my first vending event of the year. So if you'd like to see me in person and talk about my products in person, I'll also be.
Do you actually have a social media platform for Mary and Grace?
She said that. Like,
No, the website, yes, but
I'm
like
on Facebook.
Instagram
I'm
and
on
like
Facebook and
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram.
Mary
Okay.
Grace
At
Legacy.
Mary Grace Legacy.
I missed that.
Yeah.
You did.
Damn, I am tipsy as a
So much,
mother.
But it's okay because you ain't gotta
Pleasure,
drive
buddy.
far. Cause you
I'm
just
right
gotta-
here.
Still
I'm
got
right
God
here.
is great.
I still do God is
Right
great.
on, that's dope.
It's commission only, but I still do handmade crochets, hats, scarves, baby
Okay.
gifts.
So God is great as a crochet.
Mhm.
That's dope.
That's my first baby, my first business
Aw.
I created. Yeah.
So you
is
got
that
5 kids.
I technically, yeah. Two that I gave birth to
Yeah.
through my brain, and the rest of them
So
came
is that
physically out
on
of me.
Mary and Grace as well, or is it like a separate?
No, it's a separate situation.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
That's
kind of
right on.
something I do on the side. It's hand crocheting takes a lot of time, whereas Mary and Grace, I can kind of mass produce products that, in one sitting.
Yeah.
So I only do God is great, in asking. A lot of people order. I have an Etsy shop, but a lot of people order just directly through DMs or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Tana, final method thoughts. Final thoughts.
Oh gosh. So
Aries.
Aries,
Fuck
what's
them
up?
Aries. Fuck them Aries.
Hey.
Shout out to all the
It's always nice to have
Aquarius.
another Aries.
I
in the
know.
girl. I feel like I don't never meet
No,
Aries.
I
every
know.
time there's an Aries, L was an Aries.
Right.
It was all lot of bullshit
Same birthday.
that happened.
Same birthday.
You guys have the same
Yeah.
birthday?
On the last podcast Jay used to
I
do.
know.
We found out.
I
on the
actually reached out
podcast-
to her to see if she wanted to be my third co-host for
Yeah.
the podcast. She was like, "Nah, fuck y'all."
You
I ain't
I
got
did
time
not
for
say
might
that.
not be
that.
able to handle that.
I did not say that. Was not my words.
Fuck
That
both
She
of
said,
y'all.
"Hey, fuck you,
That
Jay,
is-
and fuck Remy. I ain't got no
I
time
don't
for
know,
y'all."
but
I
fuck
didn't-
him.
That's not what I said. I said, listen, I've been podcasting for a while and I am tired.
She
and
just
I'm
need a break.
Like,
I feel
I
you.
need a break because it's draining.
But
It
your
is.
last
But I
episode
mean,
was in July, so it's time to come on, bring it on back.
Give me time.
All
I'll
right,
think
final
about it.
thoughts.
I'll think about it. So, no, I mean, everybody's life is a journey. And I'm definitely learning a lot in my journey of life. And I'm just like, at the end of it, I just want to make sure that I'm happy. And that's the biggest thing. Like making money or whatever is all a byproduct. I just want to be content with everything that I've done, everything that I've given, who I am. I want to make sure that, I'm enjoying my journey.
Right.
And so that's my thought. Like, just enjoy your fucking journey.
Yes,
Don't let nobody
indeed.
stress you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Be
Right on.
happy, laugh, because
I am definitely
Each
enjoying my
day is
journey.
a part of it.
You know
And
what I
there-
mean?
I'm in the
happiness is
40.
not a
I'm in my
destination.
40s now, man. I'll be 41
40s club. I'm
in.
30s club. But
I'll be
40s club,
41 in February, so I am enjoying
Congratulations.
this.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I look up to people who are older, like, like what's 30 is gonna be like, but just you.
Wait, how old are you?
Well, I mean, it's not bad. Like, I'm 32,
Okay.
but I've lived some life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
You young.
you're like, right? You're like,
She
girl.
young. I didn't know
I
you were that
know.
young. Okay.
But it really is like, like being able or being there, like when my dad passed. And it's just like, I wonder, like, did he enjoy his life?
Yeah.
If, like, when he was on his deathbed, did he look back and be like, damn, I had some good motherfucking days, or I had some good times?
Yeah.
And some people go through their whole life just working, head down, bills. And it's like,
Yeah.
did you really enjoy this whole journey?
Mhm.
And I would hate to get to a day where I'm like, because it's
destination
not
is
like
the
I'm going to
journey
make
itself.
it. I don't know if I'm going to make it to
Mhm.
70,
Yeah.
80, you know, so it's like, am I
I
living
tell
every
people all the
day,
time.
Yeah.
like enjoying my life? And that's my.
I tell people all the time. I don't know if I'm gonna make. I'm not trying to be like a negative
I know, it's
person.
not
Like I don't know
negative.
if I'm gonna make it to 65. Honestly,
Right.
like in my heart, like I don't think I am. But I want to live my life right now.
Right.
You know?
That's all we got. And it's just like
Yeah.
enjoy every day. It's just too short to like not have fun right now.
100%.
Not be happy right now.
Just don't do single till you married. That part.
Well,
If you don't
yeah, I was gonna say,
Plan.
like, listen, if you want to do single till you're married, make sure your partner is on board and be like, I'm single too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a
100%.
communication thing. It's like,
communicate.
or if
Yeah.
you're in an open relationship, it's just enjoying whatever you have, making sure you are comfortable with who you are and
Yeah.
putting it up. Point blank.
Remy, final thoughts.
Oh, I said mine.
Yeah,
Pray
I know.
for-
Pray for me.
I think
We
it's the
waiting
last
on
one.
you.
Pray
Yeah.
for me.
I missed
I
that.
think you
Oh,
was
he
the
went
first one,
first.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts is, how has your 2021 year been in comparison to last year, and what is one goal that you have for 2022? So I will go first since it's my final thought.
Mhm.
So in comparison to last year, like 2020 was shit. Like I lost my job.
Oh.
I got a new job. I had to move into the place I'm in now. I had to buy a new car. Like it was a lot that happened in 2020, right? I almost died twice
Stuff.
in 2020. Yeah, it was a rough year, right? But in comparison, 2021 has been. I've gotten another new job in a whole another field. That has been an amazing, huge paid salary, which was amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And so 2021 has been a really great
A
year.
good bounce back.
Yeah, a good bounce back. And so my goal, one of my main goals for 2022 is to buy a new house
Okay.
or buy a house. That's my main goal. Because as we talk off air before we hit record, rental prices in Tampa Bay area is through the roof. It's skyrocketed.
Did we start that on air? I think we started.
Did we start it on air? I don't know if we started on air or
No,
not.
but he ain't lying.
But it's crazy. It's crazy right now. And
Unnecessary in Tampa.
yeah. And so
Am I
I
watching Selling Tampa Bay. Am I watching that Netflix show?
Selling Tampa.
Selling Tampa Bay?
I
I
started
haven't
haven't
started
seen
it
it
yet. I know it.
I haven't
just
watched
came out
it.
yesterday.
What? I'm actually Facebook friends with one of the girls.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. But like the first one they were buying or selling was like 8.9 million. I was like, all right, I'm not even
Right.
close.
Right.
But I get it because Tampa is a new place and that waterfront is amazing. Like
And
Tampa is really the
That's
next
well, Tampa
place.
is the fastest growing city in the nation.
Yeah,
So, but one thing about those shows is they always want to try to
of
upsell
course.
the top of the line stuff. I was on a TV show for
What?
yeah. I was on it was
You don't even know the show you were on?
I've been drinking.
Yeah, okay.
I've been drinking. But I was on the show, and basically, even the houses they had us look at weren't houses that we even qualify for.
Mm.
Right? We had one house that we qualified for, and that's the house. It was Holmes Buys It Right. What's the
Okay.
song? And it was on
Well,
HGTV.
the show.
Yeah,
So it's called Homes.
Holmes Buys It Right.
Okay.
And so anyway, those shows always
Overdo it.
fabricate
Right.
and overdo
Oh, really?
certain things.
So that makes sense. So them couples that be just dog sitters and buying an $80,000 or $800,000 house,
100%.
that's some bullshit.
They had us record houses that we were not qualified for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
like we qualified. This is like 5 years ago. We qualified for houses that were like $180,000. Back 5 years ago, that was a great deal.
Yeah.
But they had us looking at houses that were like 300,000,
Right.
Oh, gotcha.
right? And so you gotta remember. So Selling Tampa, it's great because it's all black women.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and
what I was
positive
gonna
light,
say.
you know?
I mean, I just really love like they're highlighting Tampa.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Because it's
appreciate
like
that.
Tampa, like it is a beautiful beautiful place to be.
I love Tampa, man.
I love Tampa. Like,
I love Tampa.
I didn't expect to stay here when I got here. Like, I thought I was gonna move somewhere else. And I love the fact that they're like, Tampa is like as beautiful as it is. Bayshore, the weather, you know. So I'm like, I'm happy that they're highlighting Tampa. But in those kind of shows, there's some level of acting and like,
for sure,
staging that goes
still
on.
a TV show.
It's still a TV show. So
where you gonna buy? Riverview?
I know, right? Because I'm coming to your house wherever you go.
Where's the job?
Roommate?
No, I can't do that. I like my space.
They're pushing me out further and further and further and further.
Yeah, Gibsonton is not safe.
I can't do it.
You gotta go further to like Bradenton. Tampa's really.
At this point, I'm gonna have to buy a damn 1-bedroom because it's so crazy.
Right.
But
house.
I mean, ideally,
ideally,
I want a house.
Of course.
But in my price range, it's hard to find a house that,
especially
in my price
prices.
range. Yeah,
at these inflated prices.
Like St. Petersburg, you have 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom going with 700 square feet going for $300,000 to buy.
St. Peter's weird. St. Peter's weird.
700 square feet going for $300,000. Like, it's crazy.
That's like less than a cell.
My apartment rate that we're in right now is 565 square feet. So you want me to pay $300,000 for to buy 700?
200 more square.
It's crazy.
Like Riverview
that's
is
like New York. That's New York. Like, that's when you.
I feel like Riverview is kind of like the golden spot to look, because I've seen I've still been looking and I've seen like 3.3s, 1,500 square feet for like 230.
So Riverview, Gibsonton, and Lakeland is the area that they're pushing us to because they're trying to make Tampa and Orlando a major metro connection, like Fort Lauderdale and Miami is. Like,
that's definitely what Tampa's moving towards.
Yeah, so that's the next thing. So you have to be, if you want to buy to get bang for your buck, you either have to be in Newport Richie.
They
both said,
at the same time.
or New Tampa or Lakeland. That's or like Apollo Beach. The outskirts. And we're all, we're not old, but we're still kind of fairly young. Like, who wants to be way the fuck out there?
Right.
Yeah, that's that's a drive.
Yeah,
but
so
at the same time,
Newport Richie is 35 minutes from here, and it took me about 30 minutes to get here.
From Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Even from my house, it's far.
So I don't know. So that's my goal.
Anyway,
so what's your goal with 2022?
I didn't say mine.
You just I've been talking the whole damn time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 22. My goal for 2022.
Yes. In comparison, first thing, in comparison to 2020, how has 2021 been?
Okay.
And what is a goal for 2022? Because we only got like 3 weeks left.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it short. I'm gonna try to make it short. So 2021 has definitely been like an internal learning lesson, like things that I've been like struggling with and self-worth. I think 2022 is definitely about being more assertive and definitely like being more like focused on the goals and things that I want to do, because it's like, like I don't want to regret certain things. Like, I don't want to have fear.
Are you ready for commitment?
That part. Let's do that. No, that was that. But no, I am. I'm more ready for commitment than I've ever been.
Okay.
But it's got to be something like we're on the same page. We have the same goals, because it's not a commitment for today. It's a commitment for life,
for future. Yeah.
So it's like, are our visions aligned for our entire future with kids? How's that gonna look? Do we still want to travel after kids? Are we settling down? Like, but there's also different ambitions, and so for 2022, it's just being more concrete and confident in whatever I want to do and who I am. And so that's just pretty much my journey right now. It's just like confidence and assertiveness of like, this is what I want my life to look like.
Got it. Brittany.
2020.
We're at 2021, but
2020 was mentally, psychologically, and emotionally draining. It was just draining.
I can say that.
I can honestly say the past few years leading
for
up
everybody
with losing like my foundation, and what I mean by that is like, with losing my parents and like just a lot.
You lost both your parents?
I lost my grandparents.
Wow.
The people that I told you I was orphaned when I was
Yeah.
I lost my grandfather in 2018, and then my grandmother in 2019.
I lost my dad in 2019, and it's like it definitely is. I heard this analogy. It's like you lose an anchor.
It was the first time I felt the ground move.
Yeah, your anchor is gone.
So from there, like I was born here in Tampa, but I was raised in Plant City. So like this is like home for me. However, my entire home, like everything that I've known for the past 34 years, no longer exists. So I am in a space of rebuilding and finding me and kind of rebuilding what my life is. So 2021 has been the start of kind of laying that foundation.
Yeah.
2022 hopefully will be, building the next layers of finding my tribe, hopefully, aligning with, whoever Bube is going to be. And, and
whoever what going to be?
And essentially just moving forward
with
what that's going to look. At this moment, like my slate is clean. The world is my oyster, if you will.
Slide in her DM.
I am. I don't say all that. So anyway, I'm essentially, like I said, I've been laying foundation for 2021 and 2022. I just want to build on that.
Gotcha.
Keep that momentum, yeah.
Mr. Mulatto.
You got some ancestors, girl.
I'm not alone.
They definitely pushing you to wherever.
Oh yeah,
I'm not alone.
So.
Remy?
He already said his first.
No, he didn't go first, did he?
It's a little different.
No, we're doing goals for 2020.
Yeah.
We did final thoughts.
See, now you tipsy.
For the last 2 years, I have been traveling and partying my ass.
I'm gonna
off.
miss you on my 41st, man.
Oh man,
I'm kind of upset about that.
2019 was my first.
You're not 41 yet.
No,
okay.
41.
2019 was my first international trip.
How you know that?
With Jay.
You said it.
Yo,
I said it.
Yeah.
Well, what y'all? How much of this?
I know, right? A lot. A lot.
Yeah, I've been drinking.
Because my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I drank a lot.
I
drank
so I've been partying my ass off for the last
too.
2 years, and I think Jesus is mad at me for it. So for 2022, like I said, I am being challenged in so many ways that I not to say that I wasn't ready for, but that I have to push myself harder in order to make sure that I can handle it. So all I really want is to meet those challenges. I want to resolve everything and come out of it stronger and have a dope ass 2023. Start traveling again, maybe start partying again, fuck around and get married.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Just do all the things that I can't do next year because I need to sit my ass down and focus.
Fair enough.
Focus.
So
well, you said you were going to sit your ass down in 2021, though. You didn't do that?
I did say that, and I didn't do it.
And that's why he said 2020.
Yeah, like I set my ass down on the traveling because I kind of had to or whatever because shit just kept falling apart. And then I was just kind of partying in Tampa. Boy, that's fun.
Yeah, good. It's been good.
A lot of fun.
It's been good. So for me, 2021 in comparison to 2020 has been 110% better.
Yeah.
I'm always a positive person in general. Right. So no matter what happens in my life, I'm always gonna live a positive life. But there was a lot of shit that happened in 2020. I was like, damn.
Everybody was
like, like really?
We all kind of got
like really, like man, fuck this
out.
shit, like you know. So for me in 2022, my
reality check.
I have 3 main goals. One,
2022.
2022. What did I just say?
I think you said I don't know.
I said 2021.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's okay.
Brittany, are you judging me? Are you judging me right now?
I'm just taking it.
I didn't hear it. I like 2 whole cups of this.
You know, you filled my second cup, and
I did.
You did. I was like, I heard the water pour, and I was like, that's not water.
You are also answering this question a second time.
I already went. No, I didn't go. I didn't go.
You went.
You started.
I started it, but I didn't say what my goals were though.
You want to buy a house?
Huh?
You said you want to buy a house.
I started it though.
You weren't done.
I wasn't done.
Okay.
I wasn't done.
Oh, okay, so you let us interrupt your answer.
Yes, I was letting y'all go.
Okay.
So I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house.
Okay.
Get into a relationship.
I want to get into a relationship.
No, I didn't hear that one. I didn't say that
one.
I just know.
You just know.
Say it, but...
And the third thing, I don't even know what it was going to be. Y'all messed me up.
Sorry. Well, this was dope.
Something about traveling, somewhere you want to go.
No.
You want to cross the is it the Pacific? What's the water over there? I don't know what the fucking body of water.
It don't fucking matter. House
know.
and relationship. That's
There
the
you go.
two main things. All right. So final thought.
We did
No,
everything.
I know that.
That's it.
Okay.
How can they find you on social media?
Yes. So Mary and Grace, if you search at Mary Grace Legacy, that's Facebook and Instagram. I'll be making a TikTok shortly.
Oh,
I know I saw that you were going to be doing this. When I tell you, Mama, old, you have to show me what to do.
Bro, they got 55-year-olds on there. They never do.
And if you do
I
Instagram
gotta
stories,
take
you could do
time.
TikTok for sure.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, at this moment, at Mary Grace Legacy, all one word, of course, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And then my website is www.marygracelegacy.com.
What about vibing with B? You ain't gonna shout out the vibing with B.
Follow me, my personal journey, because I also do theater acting. I'm a freelance model, a freelance artist.
Okay.
So you can follow that
Put your
journey
mouth
at
close to it.
vibing_with_B
The letter
via
B.
the Instagram. It is a vibe.
You did
Definitely
Tony's play, right?
come and join me. I did do Tony
How did
in Atlanta.
It was in Atlanta. I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, we did the Atlanta Black Theater Festival.
How'd it
Who
go?
was your
It
character?
went really, really well. I was one of the vocalists. So I actually opened the show with the theme song.
Oh,
And,
Oh, you can sing?
I just said I was a freelance.
I didn't know you could
artist.
sing. Okay.
So, I sing and act and dance. It was choreographed.
Okay.
Nice.
I can't dance.
It's a good play, by the way. It's a good play.
But yeah,
Saw
it's a
Ju-
really,
Saw
really good
Juke
show.
joint.
Yeah, it was invited back for the 10-year anniversary the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. So I was blessed to be a part of that one. And I had one of the speaking roles. I was the bartender.
Nice.
Fun times.
Amazing.
That's
Biggest
dope.
theater I've ever been in. It was amazing. Yeah. Dope.
Nice.
Dope
Shout out to
times.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Senior. Shout out to Tony Senior. Tanya,
What am I saying?
social media. See, you've been tipsy.
I get to keep checking them.
Yeah, no, I'm not drinking one.
Social media. How can the method heads
And you got me
find
Tanya,
you?
which is
Tanya?
not even close. But it's okay. You can call me Tana.
So Tanya. So Tanya.
Nah, it's okay.
What?
So you can find me at either Makeup Breakups and Martinis on Instagram, or if you want to find me on my personal account, it's Sultana, aka Queen _Queen. Sultana, aka
Sultana.
_Queen. See, I'm fucking it up
Underscore
myself.
Queen.
Sorry, you guys. There's not a lot of sultanas though, so I'm the black.
That's a very
sultana.
unique name.
It is.
I like
So
it.
SULTANA _Queen.
Does it mean something?
It does.
What does it mean?
Queen.
Queen. Okay.
So it's an Arabic name. that
Yeah,
means-
it's like from Aladdin. He was called the Sultan.
Yes, the Sultan
The
was
Sultana.
the king,
Got
and
it.
then the king's wife
Got
was the
it.
Sultana.
I like
We're
it.
a little tipsy, you guys,
Mm.
and we're gonna end it soon.
It all works. It all
Hopefully
works.
You can find us, cause well, you did a better job than I did. But yeah, so you can find me at Makeup Breakups and Martinis. Our podcast, my podcast is on Spotify, Google Play, or Google Podcast now.
Mhm.
Anchor, iTunes.
Y'all gonna come back?
That's another question for another day. Stay tuned. You never know. Or if you want to find me personally, I'm at Sultana _Queen.
Awesome. Mr. Mulatto.
At Millennial Mulatto on Instagram.
See, he did that.
And follow A Method Podcast everywhere on any given platform. And if we ain't on there, let me know. I get on there tomorrow.
Thank you for having us.
You are
Absolutely.
welcome. Of course, Method Heads, you can find me at the J Noetic on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. I'm mainly
Twitter? You ain't
on
on Twitter.
I have an account.
He's
But
I ain't never seen you there. I'll be there all the time. I ain't never seen you on Twitter.
I'm mainly on TikTok.
It's active.
Yeah, I'm mainly on TikTok.
Well,
So
thank you so much.
thank you both for joining the Method Podcast. We enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, it
this is
was
definitely
crazy.
the longest podcast we've
I
had.
know. Listen, it was a
Ron is
vibe.
probably like, what the fuck is Remy at right now? But you know,
I'm in Miami, baby. What?
Single till I'm married.
yeah. Until next time, man. We appreciate y'all.
Okay.